This is Allumeria. It's a pretty fun voxel game that's meant to be a combination of Terraria and Minecraft. It's a beautiful game, it's a ton of fun with a lot of new mechanics that make survival interesting, and Microsoft just tried to take it down. Just a few weeks ago, Microsoft sent Allumeria a DMCA saying that it reused content from Minecraft. It was removed from Steam and could have been shut down forever if it weren't for a massive community backlash. Tons of people were talking about it. Phoenix SC, Waddles, Tyron, even Jeb was made aware. After a short but tense period, the game was fully reinstated by Valve and the DMCA was retracted, and it should have been. It's a passion project built entirely from scratch, inspired by another block game, but ultimately created in a solo developer's vision. Sounds familiar? So yeah, the DMCA claim was totally fraudulent. The game may look similar, but it uses no assets from Minecraft at all. It's more like 3D Terraria than Minecraft anyway. So, this is my playthrough of Allumeria. This video is obviously very long, but we've got a lot of ground to cover. In this video, we're going to create a new world, try the radio build system, go caving, fight tons and tons of monsters, try out fishing, paint stuff, die, interview the developer, fight a boss, raid a dungeon, build a mansion, cave some more, fight even more monsters, test the terrain generator, try out gardening, and so much other stuff. I've got a ton of content for you. So whether you're really interested in the game or you just need something for your second monitor, here we go. I've actually played this in the past, but a lot of new things have been added since the last time I tried it out. Kind of excited to see what's new. We're gonna check it all out together. Whoa, all right. And here we are, Allumeria. You know what, every time I create one of these new worlds, I always seem to spawn on a hill. The ambience has definitely been kicked up a notch. Check this out. Love the butterflies flying around. There's also very clearly some biome shading. Look at that deep cave right by spawn. I like how we spawned by this gigantic lake. Fishing is something that's kind of new. I haven't tested it out for myself yet. I'm excited to look into it. It'd be nice to have a house or a base on a lake of some kind so we can test that out. Alright, well anyway, one of the most important steps for progression is flint. These little rocks we can just kind of find around. There we go. And there's our workbench. Let's get a few more rocks. You can play the demo of this game for free on Steam. Look at the water effect. That's cool, huh? Let's get ourselves a sword. Ooh. And an axe and call that good. There's also a ton of plants around here, so plants aren't just like a food source. They boost certain stats. They can be used in potions, I believe, and they can also be used as weapons, right? For example, I believe arrows are obtained by growing them, or at least that's one way to obtain them. I'm not totally sure yet. Not bad. Look at that. The last time I played this game, it was pretty easy, but I am curious to see how the progression might have changed a little bit. Let's grab some coal. Coal just kind of spawns in the surface as these boulder things. Now, if you do end up trying this game out for yourself, which I would recommend, it just has a really unique feel to it. You know, it's got its own thing going on. I really like it. I think it's cool. It's a very different experience than Minecraft, and look at that. Copper. And we got a loot crate. This is a spike trap. I don't want to step on it, but that's a spike trap right there. Let's make torches. Whoa! My bad. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Dang, he's fast. Another thing about this game is that there's tons and tons of caves. They go on for a very long ways. I think they just get larger as you go down. Oh wow, look at that. Holy crap. Oh. Phew. Oh, dang, I just stepped on a spike trap. Ow. Dude. I have a health potion? I do. Nice. Back up. Okay, so combat is more difficult than I remember. So when I first tried this, it was pretty easy. It's definitely been buffed. The mobs are stronger. You can't just spam hit them and kill them immediately. Oh. Ah, they're everywhere. Get out of here, dude. At least they don't attack you when you're up close. Look at that, we got a projectile. Shurikens. I'm sure I missed some other ores, but look at this. This is clay, which you can use to make, of course, all kinds of other blocks. Ow. Whoa. The mining is pretty fun in this game. The cave exploration is really good. It kind of brings back what Minecraft used to have with the smaller caves, the twists and the turns, the mobs that you would find around every corner. This game kind of takes that concept and just amplifies it. Back up, bruh. Oh, hey, look at that. These guys are a lot faster than I remember. What is it? Whoa! My god. I don't remember that. Oh no. Hey, at least I kept my inventory. Okay, it is getting kind of dark. Look at that day-night cycle, though. That's really beautiful. Love the stars in this game, too. Man. I kind of lucked out with the terrain. I like the big watery areas. I like this area. Oh! I like this area. But I like the area behind us as well. Uh-oh. I do like how there are fireflies, right? And they're not like a weird block effect attached to a plant. Get out of here. Of course, I don't have a house by the time it's night. Best I can do is just light this area up a little bit, I guess. It's just because I'm so indecisive. I don't know what to build. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I think we can place torches underwater. Yeah, we can't. Waterlogged torch. I'm not complaining. Oh, look at this. I have an effect in the top left corner. What is that? Wet. You are soaked in water. Okay. I wonder what the point of that is. Oh god, I'm getting swarmed. Let's just get some kind of a starter base going. Terrain is kind of rough. Not very many flat areas. Now, the building system in this game is also really unique. Let's just finish this house really quickly. Let's use some of the maple for this. Now, if you look in the bottom right corner, there's a tooltip that says change shape by holding R. If you hold R, you get this cool radial menu. So I can pick 6 different styles for most building blocks. Now, certain blocks have special styles, but I think this is just a really great way to break down inventory clutter. And also, you have way more block variants just because it's been handled this way. Look at that. Just made a block and a half jump. Like, that's kind of cool. Okay. Not complaining. Super basic hut. Let's get a workbench in here. Look at that, we can make bread. Huh. That didn't heal me, but it gave me this small meal effect. You had a small meal, small boost to stats. So yeah, a lot of food doesn't actually heal you, it just messes with your stats. I think you need potions specifically to be healed. I need a door. Alright, I can hear them crawling outside my house. I've got a bit of an issue. I don't think I actually have enough stone to make a furnace of any kind. Let me make some ladders. There we go. Boom, furnace. And with this we can make clay brick, red brick, terracotta tiles. That's with all the clay that we just got, but we can also make copper ingots. We got 20 of those, not bad. Then we can also make a decoration station. We used to make decorative blocks. Alpha shop, which I guess is like the placeholder block for NPCs, which I suppose are eventually going to be in the game. Spilled water all over myself. Oops. And now we can make all kinds of weapons. Ooh, basic rod. Well, first thing, we really do need a better sword than this. That was 7 copper. Probably better pickaxe. Should I get a bow of some kind? Maybe I'll save it for later. I need to reorganize my inventory. Check this out. Boom. Just like Terraria. It's still nighttime. Look at this. There's cotton plants growing right here. So cotton is kind of the wool of this game. You can make all kinds of colorful blocks with it. Well, let's test out the copper sword. You know, I am impressed by the animations and like the pathfinding and like all the different block models. I really enjoy the art style of this game. It feels very lightweight, right? Like when you're playing Minecraft, I don't know if it's just because I have an old computer, but it's very heavy, you know? It takes a lot of resources to run, especially modern Minecraft. There's a million background processes, whereas like Allumeria runs super quick. I mean, it's very lightweight. And look at that, it's daytime already. Alright, now it seems like an upgrade, but we're going to need better ores than this, I think, to keep progressing. Now there's also dungeons somewhere, but you have to beat a boss to unlock them, from what I understand. There's a lot you can really do, but dang, this game is just beautiful. Ah. And there's a lot of building opportunities. First thing I want to try out is fishing. Why not? Why don't we try this? Am I going to need bait for that? Oh wow, hey, look at this. I hold R over an item and see the recipe. Basic rod used to make sturdy rod can reel in trickier fish. Compendium recipes? Okay. What's a cactus sword? Fish? Oh wow. Is that accessible via the menu? Yeah, this is the compendium. So there's lots of different fish types. See if we can get our hands on some. I wonder how it works. Alright, time to cast. I guess. Oh, it's left click. Whoa. Ultimate fishing legend for eternity. Don't worry, you only need to catch one fish. Oh my god, it's an underwater butterfly. What? Okay, hold on. I'm not doing this correctly. Do I have to get that in the center of the bar somehow? It's like it just happens so fast. Another underwater butterfly. Maybe I need to not just hold the left click button. Maybe I need to kind of like carefully click it or something. Because there's a second bar that looked like it was loading in the bottom. Let's try that. This is weirding me out, dude. Oh, dang it. Maybe gotta right click? No, that didn't do it. Wait, okay. Something happened there. I just left clicked it once, I didn't hold it, and it was like moving to the right a little bit as I left clicked it, but then I clicked it too much and then it just kind of shot to the left and I couldn't pull it back. I feel like I'm gonna spend all day trying to figure this out. Okay, right clicking. Okay, the secret is just to stay in the center. Great, new record. Awesome. I'll just stay in that sweet spot right there. Boom! Oh, I got a minnow. Oh, man. It's really cute though. Can I use it in anything? Used to make fish fillet. Okay. Can I place it? Nope, I can eat it. Oh, that heals you. Fish heals you. That's good. This is actually fun. I want to do this one more time. Here's what seems to be the best strategy. When this starts to bob, just left click, and then you can kind of like hold it. Look at that, I got a tuna. Whoa, careful me. Salmon, 71.3 centimeters. So I didn't look at that before, but I'm getting sizes for these fish. So if I go to the compendium, I've unlocked quite a bit, and I didn't catch these fish, herring and carp. That's kind of odd, because I never caught those. And I didn't catch them in another world either. I wouldn't... Maybe those were fish that I almost caught. Maybe. But yeah, I never caught carp or herring. I guess it's a bug. Largest fish I caught was a tuna. Second largest was a crate, 85.7 centimeters. Can you believe it? Alright, that is actually pretty fun. But let's get serious, okay? Let's get for real. Here's what I'm imagining right here, okay? You see this kind of fjord, this little bay area right at the end of that fjord. Imagine a white castle of some kind, or maybe like a white modern house, or I don't know. I'm just gonna build. I'm gonna figure it out. Now I say white because I think that there's a lot of different white blocks that are afforded to us. You know, there's these birch planks, of course. There's snow. I'm sure there's like cloth you can build with, but we can also use the painting system to paint any block white. I just think that might be neat. Okay, first things first, I think we need to do some more mining. We need to get better equipment, we need to get better ore, and then we can start collecting resources. This place will serve us well enough for now. Can I make a chest? Can I not make a chest? Let me try making a decoration station. Ooh, look at that. I can already make a lot of stuff. Packed dirt. How does that look different from normal dirt? We have cobblestone, stone brick, stone block. I'm getting distracted. Okay, hold on. Copper bars, that's cool. Surprised we can't make a chest? Maybe we need iron for that or something? This is everything we can make with copper. Everything bagel. What? Alright, let's go mining. Oh, I hear something. Ta-da! Now, if you listen carefully, there's a lot of ambient noise in this game. There is no music, actually. Any music that you hear, I put in there. There is ambient noise. And I think if I hold F7, the values of what kind of ambient noise is playing is being calculated up here on the top left. So I think like the deeper that I get, that value that says ambient cave will go up. Whereas if I go higher, I believe, yeah, it'll get lower and lower. Yeah, and that controls how loud that ambient noise is, I believe. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool way to do it. As far as I know, Minecraft doesn't have anything like environmental ambience. Oh! Stay back. I know there's like ambience associated with certain biomes and stuff, but I don't think that it has this kind of environmental ambience. It depends on what kind of blocks and environments are around you. Pretty epic. I get some clay while I'm at it. Look, there's some glowworms. Oh. I think we're getting into a really big cave here. I can hear them moving all around us. I think this is amethyst. Yeah, amethyst. It's placeable. Oh. Used to make amethyst block. Look at that, there's a little mine hut over there. I don't know what they're called. Oof. I've already got some iron. I really do love the mining in this game. I'm getting different types of ores. It does feel a little bit fast, but it's also kind of exciting, right? There's tons of mobs to fight. Like, you're constantly fighting off mobs when you're mining. Keeps you on your toes. Plus, there's just a lot to see underground. That's one of the game's strong suits, in my opinion. Ah! I think this is a silver. Dang. Oh, that's a special crate. Dice. Got dice from that. What does this do? Used to make nothing. Monster rolled a 5. Oh god. Oh. Not bad. Leave me alone. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Heal up. Alright, here we go. Phew. Glowing mushroom. Ah, can I fish them? I don't think so. Oh, okay. These caves are huge, man. They just keep going and going. Oh my lord. I feel like I should take one of these spike traps. I'd imagine I can make a kind of a mob trap up on my house. That might be helpful. Whoa. That guy just launched me. These guys are morons. It's a good thing I went fishing earlier. Oh my lord, I just want to get into that place right there without being attacked every 5 seconds. Oh my goodness. We really gotta like spawn-proof this whole area. I think mob spawning is pretty different compared to modern Minecraft. I don't even know if light prevents mob spawning, to be honest. It might not. I've done more fighting than mining so far. Where's that star crate? Ooh, an 8-ball. Wait, hold on. Should I fight back? I really don't know. Oh god. Oh god. Let's take this blueberry. We can improve our stats a little bit. Hey. Yikes. I feel like that may or may not have helped. What was that? A potion station? Can we craft those? I'm not sure. Anyway, what's in this chest? Thankfully it didn't blow up. Painting, deer, spawn pointer. Nice. This is how we set our spawn in this game. Blueberry bush, blueberry arrow. Sticky torch can be thrown to light up caves. A dart. Paraglider descends slowly from great heights. I'll wear that. Iron bow. I'll take this chest because I don't know how to craft one yet. Ooh, a frying pan. This is a melee weapon. Alright, check this out. It confuses them. Ah! Like stuns monsters momentarily. I think these darts are poisonous as well. Oh no, what did I get myself into? Ah. Thankfully, I can drink this returning potion to get back at any time. Imagine how Terraria would be without any, like, magic mirror, without any potion of respawning or whatever it is. Like, you have to navigate back. Or, I don't know, you lose all your items. Maybe that's already a game mode. I'm not good at Terraria. I use a sticky torch. Nice. Oh. How did a butterfly get down here? What was that? Oh, that's the paraglider. Yeah. Wow. That's that item I just equipped as a trinket. So if I jump and then I hold space, that's cool. Let me use the bow on this guy. Oh wait. Oh, it's really dark here. You can charge this up. Ugh. Maybe this isn't the best situation for that. Another butterfly. No, I'm not falling for this again. Can I just like break it? Okay. Seems like it was a normal chest. What do we get from that? Worms? Used as bait to attract rare fish. Okay, so we can do that. Basic rod, we just got another one of those. Apparently they stack. Sneakers let you sneak around. Oh yeah, you can only sneak once you have the item for it. But nice, so once you approach the edge, you slow down, then you fall off. Ominous deer skull, that's how you summon the boss. Regeneration potion, crate potion, increases the chances of fishing up a crate. Sponge, brick, to throw out things you don't like. Flaming arrow, I'll take that. I really do like the throwable torches, they're very helpful. Ah, that was all my bricks. I have 108 shurikens. I got them from killing monsters. Get out of here. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Where are you at? Boom. That right there, that's a heartbeat. These allow you to expand your maximum hearts. Nice. Whoa. Looks like I interrupted something. I think it's time for me to go back up. I've been down here long enough. Huh, there's our house. Whoa. Was my FOV increasing when I was flying? Yeah, it is. Look at that. Just... Whoa. That was crazy. Alright, what do we get? Put our chest down. Bone club. It's got a longer cooldown, but it does a higher damage. I want to try it out really quickly. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, this is a different one. Nice, nice. We got dynamite. Look at that, we got 2 paragliders, so it's just stacked to 2. Let's try the dynamite on that guy who's bouncing right there. Oh. Okay. Alright, time to go. I just wanted to try that out. It's a better weapon for sure. Now we can make iron ingots, lots of copper, lots of silver, and some gold. Ooh, and clay bricks on accident. Look at that, we can make a watering can. Oh, well now I can afford a lot better stuff. There's a silver sword. There's a butterfly in my house somehow. Silver sword, but that's very similar to the bone club. I guess it's a little faster, right? Perhaps that makes all the difference. I'll make one. We have a little bit of iron. We have 15 iron. We can make... Let's make an iron chest plate. Copper helmet. Copper feet. What can we do with gold? Yeah, we can make gold tools and stuff. Let's do this. Let's set our spawn right in front of the house. That's a lot better. What I'd like to know, though, is how do we get a paint roller? Can we craft one? Maybe if the recipes for some of these items, maybe I could see how we could craft it. Maybe it just needs to be obtained somehow. Forgot about this potion station. Make all kinds of potions with this. Potion of Flight allows you to do a short rocket boost for 1 minute. I can't not make that. Armored potion. Very cool. I've just been chopping trees with my new copper axe, and I noticed something a little strange, so watch this. Okay, pretty decent speed. Now, if I mine another tree with a pickaxe, it's like the exact same speed. There's really no difference. I find that kind of odd. Maybe just an oversight, but an easy fix nonetheless. Anyways, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. Probably you don't see this in many Let's Plays at all. I'm going to leave this world forever. And the reason is, developers have been rolling out some tests of the new 3D terrain generation system. So right now, terrain is generated two-dimensionally. So that means it's just kind of like hills and stuff. And this new terrain system is three-dimensionally. So you can have like floating islands, overhangs, more than just, you know, up and down hills. So they gave me a fork of the game to check it out. And a benefit of Allumeria is that you can move a character between worlds with your entire inventory, your stats, and everything saved, just like Terraria. So that's what I'm going to do. I've taken everything out of my chests, you know, and I probably should do. And we're going to say goodbye to this world, and we're going to try out the new terrain generation. So that's me, Monster. Let's make a brand new world using the new terrain generator. This is going to take a little bit longer to generate. Oh my god. Let's get out of here. And here we are. Look at that. That's the new terrain. Huh. This is really quite different. Oh man, look over there. That's the forest dungeon. Look at that. It's on that little island over there. Now, we can't access the forest dungeon until we beat the first boss, but we will definitely be going there. Now, this terrain is really interesting, and it has something that the previous terrain lacked. I'm not just talking about like the overhangs and the cliffs and stuff that we see over here, but I also mean nicer flat areas to kind of build. I think nowhere was really flat in the previous terrain generator, whereas over here we can see it's like there's a lot of nice flat spots. Let's explore these mountains though. Look at that, huh? Quite different. That really changes the feel. I like it. And we spawned on that huge cave, and you know I'm going to check that out for later. Look at this, huh? Dang. You know what? Why don't we use the paraglider and this potion of flight? It allows you to do a short rocket boost for 1 minute, so I assume that if we just drink this, we'll just shoot up into the air. Whoa. Ow. Okay, I didn't go up that far. Makes climbing mountains really easy. Whoa, look at that. That's the snow dungeon. Dang, look at that terrain gen. Yeah, there's 2 dungeons in the game. Look at that. Some of the terrain doesn't seem to be loading. Oh, there it goes. Whoa. Good thing there's no kinetic energy. And another forest dungeon. Well, there's usually a few in the world, I think. Dang, look at this arch. That's really cool. I like how there's a lot more water as well. Okay, well now there's even better spots to settle. I think I'd like wherever this base is to be kind of by the shore. It's tempting to use that paraglider like literally all the time. Alright, that's annoying. There's the desert over there. This is a tough decision, man. I feel like I keep making this decision all the time. Where do I build? There's too many good spots. That area where we spawned, that's a fine spot. There's a lot of flat area over there we can build with. Let's take a look at this structure over here. So yeah, this is the forest dungeon. We can't get in without a key. We can't break in. We can break the logs around it, but you know, we can't actually break these bricks. Not yet, at least. Door is locked, requires forest key to open. We'll be getting that for sure. Dang, on this deep cave system. To me, got these hills right here. It's kind of like a looping around. Man, it's just tempting to build right by the water, though. Yeah, I would like to be by the water. Hold on, I'm gonna look around and pick a spot. Okay, while I was making up my mind, I went mining a little bit more. I got some more stuff, including a decent amount of gold. The jumping bean increased melee damage by 20% with a catch. Oh, okay. Interesting. That was automatic. Got this magnet thing. Helps me pick up items from further away. Yeah, we're loaded. We're stacked. But you know what? I still have not been able to figure out where to build. I'm so indecisive. I have analysis paralysis. So you know what? I think the answer to this question has been with us all along. Right here and here. Here's my idea. I'm gonna roll the dice. Whatever I get from the dice, I'm gonna multiply it by 45 degrees, right? So if I get a 1, I'll turn 45 degrees. If I get a 3, I'll turn 135, like that. And then I'm gonna ask the 8 ball if I should build there. And if I get a conclusive answer, then I will. If not, I'll just keep going. So, sounds fun? Sounds fun. All right, let's do it. All right, that's 90. Should I build over there? I'm not certain. Well, that's not conclusive enough for me. All right. Rolling a 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should I build over there? Dang, you're indecisive. A 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely not. How long are we going to do this for? A 1. I'm sure of it. Okay. Alright, looks like we're going to be building in this general direction. All the spots were good, so I'm not upset about that. Plus we have this cool backdrop of these hills here. I don't mind it. And the dungeon right in front of us. Ooh, there's a lake here. Oh. My inventory is too full for this. Alright, I'm just going to set this down for now. I forgot I can organize everything. That's nice. Nice. I guess our first step is let's do a little bit of terraforming. Start that thing. This is actually taking a really long time. Oh my goodness gracious. Here's one of the reasons I was so indecisive about picking land is that they're all great spots, but they also all have a trade-off in a way. Like, this is a nice spot, but the trade-off is like, I don't know if I can feasibly be near water. I want to build kind of a large structure. Okay, this is taking forever. I just realized I don't even have a workbench anymore. Holding right-click cycles through crafting really quickly, but it's also, I guess, dangerous. You can accidentally start crafting the next stack of stuff. Anyway, I just want a better pickaxe. Look at that. Silver pickaxe is better than a copper. It's a pickaxe 3. This is pickaxe 2. It's a little bit slower. That's interesting. 0.33 seconds. That's the cooldown. But then this gold pickaxe is the same strength, but it's only 0.3 seconds. So I guess I'm picking this. See, is there a difference? Oh, that is so much better. That makes all the difference. Okay, the next thing is I'm definitely going to put sand to use in this structure. Sand can not only be used to make glass, but it can also be used to make concrete and asphalt. Along with being a nice building block, they also speed up walking. There's other stuff you can build with it as well, so we're going to need a lot. I'm going to cover this area with dirt, so I might as well just tear the sand out underneath it. No block gravity. If you think about it, it is kind of odd in Minecraft that sand was giving gravity and gravel was giving gravity, and then they just kind of stopped there. They didn't really give anything else gravity. Concrete powder has gravity too, right? But that's it. Oh yeah, and anvils? Or you think it'd be more stuff. You think more stuff would have gravity, right? Got a lot of digging to do. I'm glad I made a gold pick. Ta-da! Like it never even happened. We actually got quite a bit of sand from that. Yeah, that's a good amount. We still need a lot of stone. Still need a lot of wood. Actually, I've got some seeds right here. Let's plant these suckers. They don't take too long to grow. The other thing I'm going to do, let's get some of this cotton plant. We're going to start picking cotton. This stuff produces really quickly. Hopefully it'll give us a lot of nice material. Oh yeah, see? Really quickly. Like one of these guys spawned. It's kind of weird, right? I don't remember ever seeing those green ones. You know something? The passive mob spawning is definitely different because I remember always seeing hogs and little cotton candy monsters. Those are the two kind of mobs that always spawn on the surface. And I haven't seen a single one, I guess until then, but I think that one came up from a cave. Anyway, I just gotta find that odd. Oh my god, look. Look at all the freaking trees that just grew. So now that I have a gold pickaxe, is that faster than the axe? Actually still feels about the same. Really can't tell. Yeah, the pickaxe is actually, I think, slightly faster. Okay, yeah, as you can see, it's really not too difficult to get certain materials. And I think that's kind of interesting because it sort of incentivizes building huge, cool structures, right? I'm definitely going to try to do that. It'd be nice to turn this into a fishing pond of some kind. Okay, I could probably chop trees forever. Something else we can do. Let's try the alpha shop. I'm kind of wondering if this is where we're meant to get the paint roller from. Yeah, look at that. Paint roller earthy palette, paint roller pastel palette. That's cool. There's also wallpaper. Can only be applied to drywall. So you can buy drywall and then grid block. What's a grid block? Blank block. Logic pixel. Oh yeah, this is all the wiring system. Man. So Minecraft has redstone, Allumeria has wiring. Redstone kind of works as ones and zeros. This system in Allumeria, this is more like logic. So we have logic repeaters, we have an AND gate inside of a block, a NOT gate inside of a block, XOR, a memory. That's interesting. Wow, toggle? Dang. Logic wire, and then a pixel, I guess that could turn on and off. And then, I don't know what that is. Okay. Rage bait, attracts rare fish but makes them angrier. Magnetic bait increases the odds of fishing up a crate. Bug bait used as bait to attract rare fish. Well, there's really just a lot of stuff. Carved pumpkins. Elevator. Jumper sneak to go up and down. Wait a minute. Seriously? Wait, I want to try that out. Hold on. I think I have an idea of how this works. I didn't know this was in the game, though. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so... if I stand here and I sneak... Wow. And I stand here and I jump. Wow. I think a lot of multiplayer Minecraft servers use this kind of technology, right? Can I go through blocks? I can. Oh my god. That is insane. Can we use that to get to the bottom of the world instantly? It's instant. It's kind of like smooth. Wait a minute. Let me try something. This is certainly a waste of time. Voila! Look at that. I can see the desert from over here. I can actually see a lot from over here. I think that's the snow biome in the distance. Alright. Uh-huh. Can't shift to the bottom one. We too tall? I assume we're too tall. There we go. Yeah, so I guess there is a height cap of some kind, but I mean, that's still really powerful. Yeah, just in case I want to get up there, I can just do that. Instantly. Okay, but honestly, what I'm after right now is the paint roller. So let's get that. Now, the paint roller can be used to paint any block, of course, and I think you can just paint it any color. Let's go with these planks. So if I press R, yeah, look at that. Paint remover, and then we have all these colors. Let's go for white. Ooh, that looks awesome. That kind of makes it look like bricks almost. Not bad. I don't know what that's about. I think I can actually just paint anything endlessly if I really want to. Let's remove it though. What does black look like? Ooh, man, Mojang can never. Turquoise. Ooh, well, that kind of reminds me of warped. I don't know, this is warped. Brown, that's a nice color. Red. Sorry, I'm just having fun with this. Dark gray. That is really fascinating. And look, I could just paint this tree for no reason. I could paint the leaves if I wanted to. It just kind of makes it look like it's nighttime. What about black? Ooh, black tree. Makes it look like there's lighting errors in the world. All right, let's remove it. All right, look, there's also the earthy palette paint roller and then the pastel, but those are expensive. Look at that, 10 silver. And I don't think we could sell anything unless that's what this is. Wait a minute. Oh, it's just gone. Did I get money from that? That says 6 coins. Can I... yeah, look at that. Watermelon seeds, no value. Paraglider, I don't need more than one of those. Yeah, you can just sell stuff, okay. Copper pickaxe, no value, that sucks. A lot of this stuff is valueless, but I could sell cotton. Interesting. Anything in here I could probably part with? The jumping bean is fine. I'm going to keep that. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't know, but we still need more money if I'm going to be able to afford the next paint rollers. That is so cool, though. Let's get a decoration station. We can make all kinds of stone blocks. We can also make thick logs. We can make all this kinds of cloth. I kind of want to see what these different types of stone will look like when they're painted the color that I want. And then we have stone, of course. Let's do that, okay? Stone, stone bricks, stone block, small stone brick, cobblestone. Different textures, super cool. Let's try white. Oh, that can't be painted. That's interesting, but these can. White bricks. Wow. Imagine a castle made out of these. How cool would that be? Oh, black. Whoa. I mean, you can't even really see the difference in texture here. Pink. Pink castle. Dark blue castle. That's awesome. There's one thing that I paint these, actually. Why is that possible? Oh, it's gone now. That's so wacky. Oops. Oh man, I just turned the torch red. My bad. It's interesting, you can give yourself like different color leaves if you really wanted to. Anyway, yeah, if you paint a light source, it casts a different color of light. So now I just painted it green. I guess that was a bad choice. Let's do black. Dang, it's making it darker. What about white? I guess it's already white. What about yellow? Interesting. Brown light. Red. Super red. Blue. Seems like blue conflicts a little bit. Anyway, you get the point. You can paint it any color. Very cool. I paint water. No. I'm gonna paint this coal block so it blends in with the sand. Oh, that didn't work at all. That barely changed. My theory is that certain blocks, they have a desaturated texture version or something like that, and then the colors pasted over it, but not every block. So like this coal block obviously doesn't seem to really turn red. I think that because I painted the saplings, they're just not growing. In fact, they even killed the grass underneath them. That's interesting. Anyway, I've been collecting a ton of cotton, and I'm going to use it to create a blueprint for the castle thing that I want to build. I want this to be a more modern castle, or like a newer castle. I like to have a cool garden out in front. I've been referencing a few images here and there, but I have a pretty decent idea of what I want. Honestly, there's just so much stuff you could build in this game, so I'm going to try to do it justice. So I believe we go to the decoration station, we can make all kinds of cloth, and it just costs one piece of cotton. Let's make blue. Blue for blueprint. So if I hold right click, what if I shift and right click? Wow. Jeez. Okay, you know what? That's actually more than enough. Got hypnotized there. All right, I want to have some room in the front for a garden, and I also don't want to get in the way of this pond here because it's a nice spot. Okay, let's just do this. There, it'd be nice to have a tower, and it would also be nice to use multiple colors of blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This whole thing is like way too close to the dungeon entrance. Alright, we gotta move this way over. Sorry, pond. It'll be alright. This needs to be moved over like even more. Like a lot more. Oh my goodness gracious. Like all the way over here. Then I'll feel good about it. And you know what? Back. needs to be moved back just a little bit. You know, it's kind of a tight spot with that thing right there. Excuse me. Flooding up the surface does seem to keep mobs away. Ever since I lit up, you know, the surface around there, I wasn't really dealing with any monsters. Are they mobs? I'm just gonna call them monsters. I'm gonna try to just have it, you know. Anyway, but I did read in a hint, like in a loading hint, that lighting up caves doesn't prevent mob spawning. So it only seems to work on the surface. That's interesting that there's different spawning mechanics depending like where you're at. Anyway, for goodness sakes, would you look at this? This is the fascia. This is our outline at the front. Here's something else I think. I'd like to have a little bit of a porch of some kind. It doesn't need to be too large. Just a little bit extended off the front. Might have to knock down this hill here. Here's the way that I see this. We'll have circle towers on the sides. We'll have a square tower in the center. And then we're just going to kind of build this as if it's some sort of estate. I'm going to get the final plan up and then I'll show you what it looks like. Was that seamless? I don't know. Probably not. Anyway, that's what we got. We just have a square with circles. It's going to look freaking awesome when we're done. The walls won't be flat. I have ideas, trust me. Okay? Now, this is well and good, but we really do need the materials to build this with a lot. We need a lot of materials to build this with. And so, something I did in my last playthrough is I just dug a square all the way to the bottom of the world. And that's what I'm going to do again, because it's just a really relaxing and easy way to get a lot of material. I had to pick a decent spot for this that's not in the way. Why not right here? Yeah, anyway, we're going to dig right there. Let me dump off some of my stuff. Now, we can only go so deep with a gold pickaxe. I think we need an especially strong pick if we want to go to the very bottom of the world. The only way I think we can get better ores is by digging in the snow biome or fighting the boss and unlocking that dungeon. We might have to do a boss fight. We might have to. If that's before this build is done or after, I'm not sure. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and set our spawn right there. Something I haven't done yet. Now, instead of making you watch me dig for an hour, I'm going to put something else on over it. I actually got a chance to interview the developer of this game, Allumeria. That's Unomelon. I got to talk to Unomelon, and it was about an hour and a half of interview. I'm going to cut that into its own video, but I'm going to put just a few of the highlights over this mining montage. I think you guys will find it pretty interesting. Anyway, here we go. Glad I'm finally able to talk to you. We've been planning it for a while.
Thank you. I'm glad that I've been able to talk to you as well.
What made you decide you wanted to make the game?
Well, I had been a pretty big fan of Minecraft since 2012 almost. And I mean, obviously, the game is inspired by that game. You can't deny that. I think I had been following the updates very closely. I was always one of those people who would read all the snapshot logs and play whatever version had come out that day.
Yeah, me too.
Around 2020-ish, when the game started to get more corporate, account migration, all of it felt like the development on the actual game part of the game had started to slow down, and I was getting more frustrated than excited about updates. So I eventually decided I'm just going to stop paying attention to it at all and stop playing. It was causing me to feel frustrated all the time because I was such a big fan of it.
Yeah.
So I had to just quit it cold turkey, and now I've only ever been playing Minecraft beta. But that sort of inspired me, if this is no longer the thing that I enjoy anymore or no longer want to engage with, do I have the skills to be able to make my own thing that I can take in my own direction and try and address all of the things that I wish that they had addressed? And the other side is I've also been a very big Terraria fan. And I think that game has been doing amazing and treating their community amazing. And the updates are always so filled with new content. And I wanted to try and think like, how can I make a game that is like a blocky world like Minecraft, but try and incorporate as much of the good ideas and good community involvement and update schedule and incorporate that into the blocky game. So I would say that Allumeria is really just it's inspired by both of those games to an equal extent, or even more inspired by the Terraria than Minecraft. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the DMCA nonsense. So, if you're unaware, although I find it unlikely, about 9 days ago, Microsoft filed a DMCA claim against Allumeria and had it taken down from Steam entirely. And then they sent you this automated email that said you were hurting the Minecraft brand by using their content. But Allumeria is all made from scratch, so that was totally bogus. And the community got into a huge uproar about this. Large YouTubers were talking about the drama, Microsoft canceling small indie games. How did this all look from your perspective? You want to give us the rundown?
So I'll start with the very first time I noticed something was wrong. I had set up my to-do list for the day. I was going to try and push out a minor update to fix some of the issues with 0.13. And then I saw one of my moderators, Maz, they said in my Discord, like, hey, the Steam page is down. Like, people are trying to find it, but nothing is showing up. It just redirects to the default Steam page. I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. I'll go have a look in the back end to see what's gone wrong here. And I open the Allumeria page in the Steamworks backend, and in all capitals, giant red text, it says Allumeria, page retired. Like, I couldn't think of a more like sinister way to display that information. So I'm like, okay, something has definitely gone very wrong here. What happened? And I couldn't find any information in Steamworks itself. So I then went to check my email, and there I see it, the DMCA letters, and I'm like, oh no, here we go. So I opened that, I read it, and then just sort of took a breath, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with this now. My stress levels went from 0 to 100 instantly. And I think in a situation like that, where it's a year of my life, like, spent working on this, and there's a chance that it could just be thrown in the trash, there's a level of stress you get to where it almost loops back around to no longer being stressful, because it felt like I had nothing to lose in that moment. So I just thought, I'm going to try my hardest to fix this situation. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to do whatever I can to resolve this. And then it felt like after that point, I was almost on autopilot. Like, I was just making decision after decision, messaging people, contacting content creators, sending out keys to content creators and discussing things with them, checking every single thing I can possibly check. And it just sort of resolved itself. It's like I barely even remember being conscious during that time because it was so intense. So yeah, that's probably a pretty decent overview of how I felt in that moment.
Dang. I can only imagine. I mean, a year of work to have that at risk of being thrown out, that really sucks, for lack of a better word, yeah. I guess. Especially going up against something like Microsoft.
Yeah.
Sure, that kind of feels impossible, but you won.
Yeah. I don't know how, but yeah.
Well, clearly they made a mistake, right? Because they were saying that you stole Minecraft content or you reused Mojang assets, but that wasn't true. The whole game's made from scratch.
They had sent a screenshot from my store page. They didn't explain what in the screenshot was like infringing on their copyright. They just said that I was damaging their brand reputation or something like that.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really, it was just I don't know, like a scare thing or an accident, whatever. It doesn't matter to me now. The main thing is just that it was a false claim, basically, yeah.
Right. 99% sure that it was made by Tracer AI.
Oh, yes, yeah.
There's an AI system going through and scanning games and then making copyright assessments on them. And like, I understand if it was a mistake, Like they messed up, they claimed the wrong game. But if that, imagine someone else had their game taken down and they don't have like the community backing them like you did. Well, then their game's just gone and they can't do anything about it.
Well, I actually had some developers reach out to me with the exact same problem.
Really? I didn't know this.
I'm not going to name them because I don't think they want to be named, but they had got the takedown request from that same service. And because, they didn't have the community like I did, they just had to file a counterclaim. And the counterclaim worked. I think because it's an mostly automated system, they're probably just relying on people just not doing anything. But the problem is doing a counterclaim then has a massive risk in of itself because it opens you up to a lawsuit. You have to give them all your information. You have to accept like a significant legal risk. So it's dangerous.
Right.
But it seems like it's happened to a couple people now, yeah.
How many more wish lists did you get on the game?
So within the first 24 hours of the Steam page being reinstated, I think I got 8,000 wish lists just from that. And I'll check my Steamworks account. I think I'm up to 26,000 wish lists now.
Oh my god.
Which is pretty crazy. It's doubled since before the drama happened. Before then I had 13k, now I have 26k. Yeah.
That was the greatest marketing tactic of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's move on to the future of Allumeria development. So I do know that new features haven't been worked on in a few months, and that's because you've been working on multiplayer. So how's the progress with that?
So I've finished multiplayer now. I'm aware that there's still like a couple issues here and there, but after working on it for 3 months, I really need to just do something else to not go insane. I don't know if you've ever heard anyone talk about netcode or writing multiplayer development. It drives you insane. It's really, really frustrating.
I would imagine.
Really confusing as well. Now that I have a lot more time to spend on making content for the game, I've been trying to work as hard as I can to clean up the forest biome, get it as fun as possible, get the balancing right. I redid the forest dungeon, and this has all been within the past 2 weeks. And then after that, I have a ton of plans. What I really want to get done before the early access release is, so currently it's the forest biome is almost done. I want to finish the snow biome, flesh that out a lot more so that there's at least like 2 hours of gameplay in it. Then start working on the desert biome. I want to add a dungeon to that, another boss, more unique content like items, weapons, new enemies and stuff, so that there's another like 2 hours in there or so. At some point during this time as well, I want to work on NPCs so that you can, sort of like the town mechanic in Terraria, where you can build up a village of NPCs. I want it to work so that each NPC has specific requests and requirements to be comfortable, to try and encourage you to build stuff.
I've seen some of your 3D terrain generation tests. So you've been saying that you're remaking the terrain gen in 3D. What does that mean exactly?
Currently, like the publicly available version right now it uses 2D noise, which is kind of like
the flat map.
Yeah, like a cartographer's map where it's only elevation vertically. So I want to switch that because it's kind of boring and samey. Like you generate one world and you've seen it all. So I'm switching to a 3D noise system, which allows for like much more varied and interesting terrain, especially things like overhangs or large steep cliffs, or I don't know, just really interesting structures that you can sort of build a base around or use as a landmark or monument, so the terrain looks less similar and samey. I've been working on that the past 2 days now. It's really tricky to sort of mentally visualize how that system works. Like a 2D flat terrain, it's kind of just like stacking drawings on top of each other. Like you draw like the shape of a mountain, each layer of it, and then stack it vertically. But with 3D noise, you're kind of getting like a 3D image of noise and stacking multiple 3D images together. So it's you've almost got to think in 4 dimensions, which is really confusing.
Sounds like it.
So yeah, I've been going a bit crazy with it, but I think I'm getting onto something that I like now. So hopefully that'll be out soon.
Do you think you'll be adding any additional biomes, or are you happy with like the snow, the desert, the forest?
So the way I want biomes to work in Allumeria is that each biome, it's a very in-depth and complex thing. I don't want it to be like, oh, I added a new tree and changed the grass color. I want it to be
Sounds familiar.
yeah. I want it to be like, oh, there's so many new items, there's new monsters, there's like new structures, new like mechanics or enemies, or just it should be from top to bottom like a full experience. So I'm keeping it really limited in scope right now, just the forest, the desert, and the snow. But my plan for making it more interesting is to have a system called sub-biomes. And you can already see that in the forest today, where it's split up into these 3 sections that have the basic, like, oh, the grass color and foliage is different. Just to give people some more options so it's not like just one flat blanket biome. So I think for the snow, I'd like to do that as well. Have different types of snow biomes. Maybe one that's more like a frozen wasteland, and one that's more like densely wooded and has more, I don't know, more plant life to it. I don't know. So just different things that can change it up a little bit.
I think we're all really interested to see where Allumeria goes. So thank you for letting me talk to you. But my last question is, when can we expect the full release of the game?
Okay, so my estimate. This may change. My estimate is probably early April, or like at some point in April.
Really?
That's probably very ambitious.
That's quite soon.
Yeah. It really depends on how... I've got Steam Next Fest coming up in a few days, so it depends on how the game performs there.
Thanks for letting me talk to you. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me on. It's been really, really cool being able to talk about the game. Yeah.
What the heck was that? It poisoned me. I thought those guys weren't supposed to spawn until lower down. Scuba helmet. Yeah. Hey. It looks like we can only really go down so far. I guess I didn't think about this. But yeah, this is inaccessible to us. That's the dungeon. Yep. Alright, before I get further distracted. We got 2 stacks of stone and a little bit extra. Now a stack is obviously a lot more than 64 in this game, which is nice. This scuba helmet allows us to breathe underwater. I want to try that out. Wow. Dang, that's pretty deep. Alright, that's pretty good though, so let me start building, I guess. In addition to these stone blocks, we can also build iron-plated stone, silver-plated stone, concrete and asphalt, and then, of course, different gray types of cloth and white cloth. We've got a lot of options. Oh, look at that. We can craft a white torch. Here's what I think. I want to have a darker color for the bottom and then a lighter color for the top. So I want it to be kind of more like off-white at the bottom. Let's see if we can do that. First, this is just going to be the porch, and the porch is not going to be that big. I'm just going to kind of like mix these blocks together. Good, good. The top I'm just going to cap off with, I guess these stone blocks. Boom, there's our porch. It's quite large, but its building is going to be a lot larger, I think. I don't know if we should either use stone bricks or small stone bricks for the stairs. I guess I like the larger stone bricks for that. Alright, let's get the paint roller out. So I'm wondering if I should keep this gray and then have the rest of the structure be white. What happens if I paint this pale gray? Look at that, it doesn't change a lot. That's interesting. Whereas white, you know, that does change quite a bit. maybe let's go for pale gray, but only on the top. It's kind of a unique look to it. Okay, so here's something. I want to see, how do some of these other blocks look like when we paint them? Let's do white cloth. Let's do iron-plated stone, because it looks awesome. Asphalt and concrete. I guess let me paint these white. Wow. Well, they look exactly the same once I paint them. Technically, they make your movement faster. I wonder if I paint this white. Nothing. This one? Nothing. I actually quite like the look of this iron-plated stone. That does look really good. Now let's do cobblestones for the top here. Starting to realize that this is really quite the project. I believe we can make different types of railing. Now, copper's the easiest to get. I assume that I can just paint that. But actually, you know what? We can just place blocks as fences. I can even place this asphalt as a fence. Just like that. Or like this. Hold on, let's make some glass. I have a theory here. We place this glass as a fence. It's a little bit strange. It's cool, but it's a little strange. I want to replace it as a panel. It's a little bit more normal looking. Now, can I paint this black? Okay, I know it's see-through, but that's honestly like a really cool railing. That's like a really cool design. I like that a lot. It's a little difficult to see because it's dark, but look where the lines are on this side. Look where they are on this side. Isn't that interesting? They look different depending what side you're looking at. That looks good too. I think I prefer the fence one. That looks cool. It's a little hard to see, of course. There's no way to skip the night, by the way. Let's try, ooh, framed glass. I didn't even notice this before. This might be what we're looking for here. Fence. Nice. I like that a lot. And then we can dye it black if we wanted to, but it's probably not necessary. That looks like a much better fence. I like that a lot. What if we did it white? So many little details. Oh, it just doesn't paint. Okay. Good to know. Looking good. Looking good so far. This is a lot of time to spend on a porch. These pastel palette, the earthy palette, that's quite expensive, but you know, I could probably sell something. And we're like, wow, this amethyst is actually quite, Wait a minute. That is so odd. Why is 6 amethyst only sell for 3? Oh, that's 3 gold coins. I'm colorblind. My bad. This must be quite rare. One of them sells for 50 silver, so I feel like that's a little overpriced, but whatever, now we're very rich. Let's buy this one. Let's buy that one. I am kind of curious about the drywall, so let's do that. Then we need that drywall block and that. Let's just try this, another tangent. This is drywall, and then we apply wallpaper to it, and then we have, wow, all these designs. What about one? Nice. And that doesn't even consume it. What about... Ooh, cool pattern, huh? That's awesome. So we can have some fun rooms inside of this place once we're done with it. It's interesting that the wallpaper is just not ever consumed. Okay. We have a grid block and blank block. So blank block... Oop. It's just a pure white block. So I imagine you can just paint this whatever color you want. Right? Pretty simple. Interesting. Not something I want to use, though. I like using textured blocks. What about grid blocks? Surprise, surprise. You know what? I bet you could build really cool rooms with this. You could build like some neon, like cyberpunk style builds with that. Let's try the other paint rollers. So I guess I'm gonna compare it on 3 blocks. Let's torch it up here. So the pastel palette, we have lemon yellow, pale yellow, mint green, baby blue. These are both called baby blue. Lavender, pastel pink, orange sherbet. Just a baby blue. Huh, that's cute. Yellow. How does it compare to the normal yellow? Yeah, it's just a little lighter. Which will be better to look at during the day. Look at that, the moon's almost going down. I guess I'll wait. Okay, there we go. This is normal yellow. This is pastel yellow. Oh yeah, that looks very good. Lavender, I like that. Baby blue, and then this is also baby blue, just a different babyish color. I'd like to try this actually up against birch planks. Huh. Mint green. Okay, this is the earthy palette. We have a lot of dark colors here. Ocean mud, clay, sand, powder, algae, moss, forest. Dang. How does that compare to like gray? It's got a little color to it, I guess. Clay. Mud. Powder looks interesting. That looks interesting to me. Because it's like an off-white. And it might be the off-white that we're looking for here, so let me... Huh. That kind of makes it look really close to this iron-plated stone block, doesn't it? I kind of like that color a lot. Green, I like green too, but we're not doing that. I think we're going to keep it as that, but this powder color, that might be the solution. Boom. All right, let's actually get after building this. So I kind of had this design in mind to be tileable every 3 blocks in this manner. Okay. And then some of this paneling. The question is, do we finish off the paneling like that, or do I just do full blocks behind it? Kind of like the full blocks because it makes it look a little bit larger. I think I'm onto something here. I like that. I like how that looks. I feel like the windows should be taller, though. Making windows taller is generally a good idea. Look at this. Because I have the magnet that attracts items from 4 meters away, if I break one like this, it drops and it comes back up to me, which is kind of neat. I could go for the gold and have like angled windows. It's got an interesting look to it. I think I'm not going to do it though. My next idea is to kind of like cap off these pillars like this, then do a fence, and then do a panel. It shrinks it a tiny bit like this way. Alright, and there's our bottom wall. I think that looks freaking awesome, but we still haven't painted it yet. So let's do the powder paint on this. Whoa! I mean, it already looks so good, I kind of feel bad about painting it this color, but it has to be done. The only thing I'm not going to paint is those caps to these pillars. Now, how does that look? That looks good. I like that. Now, I'm almost further tempted to kind of like place some blocks like this. Only reason being is that from afar, that would give it the appearance as if it had like a middle slit of some kind, and that's kind of a cool effect. But when you walk up to it, well, then it just looks like this, and it's weird, so I'm not going to do it. Maybe I'll save that for a design that's further up or something. Overall, though, I think that looks really cool. All right, it's time to do the tower. I think the towers are going to have like a little bit of a more simpler design. Let me take out some of this. All right, so here's kind of my thought. We can use the panel or fence mechanics to kind of create a tower that's a little closer to circular than you would normally get with full blocks. I want to use stone bricks for this if possible. Okay. Let's try this. Panel, panel, panel. Panel, 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 panel. Panel, 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 panel. Panel, 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 panel. That's cutting it really close. Panel. And then we do full block, full block, full block, full block. Full block, full block, full block, full block. And then if we look at this from out here, that looks awfully circular. I like that, actually. And we could even really round out the bottom if we wanted to. See what I mean? Not bad. I think this will work. It just kind of hits this inside window a little bit strangely, but that's not a problem since it's the interior. I'm sure we can mess with it to suit our designs here. This is cool, though. I like this. It's epic. We can also make something called bubble glass, which is really not very different from normal glass. That's normal glass. That's bubble glass. They're pretty similar. Here's my thought. We can expand these panels out just a tiny bit. We can break the full blocks that are right here. This might be a little bit messy. I can fill it in this manner. And the top one's like this. We'll cap it off with these panels and full blocks like that. Now that kind of creates this interesting window shape, right? Kind of creates a nice shape to it. If I look at it from underneath, you can kind of see it there, though. So that makes it just a tad strange. I like the shape a lot. I think it's a cool shape. Huh, this is a tough one, you know? It's like I don't want to mess with the design too badly. All right, here's what I'll do. I'll just build it normal for now. Means I'll destroy those. I'll just make it like that for the time being. Now, I could paint these windows, and I'd like to. We have options here. Let's do the ocean or clay. Kind of want it to match these. It's like an off black. We can do darker. Might need to just stick with black entirely. Because that really stands out, you know? This is a little bit noisy looking with the frames, so it'd be nice to have something different. I do want to try, though. I want to try the bubble glass, and I don't have enough. Look, it's a little bit rainbowy. But I can dye it black. I do kind of like the bubble glass for that, simply because the corners are like a little bit rounded. Boom, bada boom. I like how that looks. Oh. I don't know exactly how this tower is going to tile with the rest of the build. I do know I want it to be white compared to this off-white that we have. Ain't this sucker. Oh, this is honestly so cool. The building in this game is really awesome. I recommend you guys all give it a shot. It's like way more straightforward, and yet you have a lot of opportunities. Whereas like I feel like modern Minecraft, if you want a unique block shape, you kind of just have to get it in the form of a strange block. So when 1.14 rolled out, everybody started using extinguished campfires to build with. And I thought that was just weird, right? Like I thought that was weird that we had to do that to get that kind of block. And I never did it. Partially because the extinguished campfire has a little bit of coal underneath it, and I figured that was just a weird combination. But I mean, Allumeria, it's direct. Everything is a little bit more purposeful, right? You can place a block into any shape, and then you can color said block in any color. That's the way it should be, in my opinion. It's very well done. I'm glad we have something like this. Wonder if gray windows look better against the white tower. Maybe. Yeah, I'll do gray for now. Be really careful right there. All right, and then the base of the tower, I'm going to color it the powder color. I guess we're going to get our first idea of how the contrast between white and powder looks, even though it's nighttime. All right, that's our tower, or at least the base of it. I guess I really should go with black windows. All right, that's our tower. I think this is looking really cool. I'm gonna keep working on it until I run out of resources, which I no doubt will. Something unfortunate happened. I was recording and I was muted. I don't know why this still happens to me. Anyway, let me just show you what I got. I wasn't recording what I was building. I was recording something else, actually, and just kind of like monologuing. But I made a change to this structure. So as you can see, I actually decided to incorporate upside down stairs and slabs here because I think that changes the depth a little bit. It also makes these windows have a nice kind of beveled top. I think that looks good. I think this whole thing looks really good so far, but I've actually ran out of stone for the most part. So it's about as far as I got on the construction of it. So I decided to build a new quarry, and it's past these mountains in another area. I don't want it to be too close. I want it to be far away from the dungeon so I don't run any dungeon blocks. It might be cool in the future to have a minecart that goes there, but the issue is there's a lot of dirt, okay? There's a lot of dirt in my way. I don't really need a lot of dirt. I don't want to spend a million years digging it. So my thought process is, why don't we use some of the dynamite we got and the dynamite blocks, which we got from those trap chests, and try to blow it up. And we can even buy some more dynamite from the alpha shop here. It's 5 silver. It's rather pricey. I wasn't going to use it on anything anyways. So I've got dynamite blocks. Those, I think, need to be activated by a pressure plate. Now, I believe that there's actually 2 redstone-esque systems in the game right now. There's the logic system, which I talked about earlier, and then there's the entwining system. The entwining system is what it used to be, and it's basically action blocks like the pressure plate or the dynamite block can be tied to other action blocks. Hello. And you can entwine them with an entwining rod, which is just like you click point A, you click point B, and then boom, they're connected invisibly. That was the original system. It's kind of like Terraria where the wiring's invisible. But then this logic system was added, and that's physical. In the interview I did with Uno Melon, he spoke about wanting to combine these 2 systems together. And there's a pretty interesting way to do that. But it is a little fascinating. There's 2 separate kind of systems like that in the game. Oh, hello. You know, I really don't see very many passive mobs, so that's interesting. Anyway, this beautiful area here, this is where I was digging. I outlined this spot just because it's kind of in a nice area. There's this hill in the middle of it, but it seems to work. And then I was like, well, this is taking a million years. Let's see if we can do this without killing ourselves. Oh, hog. Wait a minute. These are the only animal in the game. I think I get to chase me? If I can get the hog to, come on. If I can get the hog to walk over the pressure plate, it'll save me from killing myself. It seems to get distracted very easily. Come on. Come on, come on. What? Maybe it needs to be right on top. Oh! Wow, I dropped money. Okay, so just right-clicking it seemed to do it. I kept the pressure plate. Clearly, I don't know how this works. Maybe we don't use the dynamite blocks. I think those are pretty much strictly for traps. Oh my lord. A minecart system from the base to the quarry would be pretty cool. Minecarts work really uniquely. They can go upside down, they can go up walls in this game. There's a lot of really fun and creative stuff in Allumeria. I'm just very happy with it. I would, again, recommend you all check it out. You can do so much, you could build so much. I mean, imagine a server, right? Like a huge multiplayer server with your friends or with other people on this game. Imagine what you could build. I mean, it's very conducive to building. Blocks are pretty easy to obtain to build with. Now, there is a lot of grinding, which is also very fun, but there's a lot of building. In the future, you may even be incentivized to build certain ways of certain structures. I'm not going to spoil too much of the interview, but we did talk about that, which is pretty cool. All right. Seems simple enough. I think I missed one. Huh. Yeah, I think these actually throw a lot farther than you expect. That was all my dynamite. Oh my lord. I literally threw it all the way over here. Oops. Kind of wasteful. Maybe I could do the dynamite block and get rid of this section. If we do it like this. Boom. That went well. If I just craft another alpha shop. Oh wait, we can't afford it. Never mind. By the way, I always forget to ask, but if you enjoy my videos, subscribing does help a lot, if you'd like to. Although, like, I think they made changes to the system recently. I've heard a lot of people complaining about it. I don't think I've noticed anything, to be honest. Maybe I don't pay that close enough attention. Subscribing still does help the channel, so I would appreciate it, I guess, or liking, or whatever it is. Hyping? Is that the new system? Man, I don't understand hyping at all. What the heck is hyping? I've not looked into it even once. It seems kind of silly, like they need to add an additional engagement boosting system. Isn't it kind of like inflation? You know, it's like engagement inflation. You can subscribe, you can like, you can comment, you can pin, and now you can hit the bell, and now you can hype. It's a lot of stuff to expect the viewer to do. Oh yeah, don't forget YouTube memberships, right? That's a lot of stuff to expect from a viewer. Yeah, guys, make sure you sub, like, comment, pin, join, and hype the video. If you don't do that, then you're not a real fan of Mahjong Blanche. Jeez Louise. I will say, though, if you are a fan of upcoming indie game projects, sandbox indie game projects, I want to get into more of them. I want to get into stuff like Lucid Blocks. I want to get into Voima more. I want to see what other stuff is out there. I would like to interview more developers. I really find it fascinating to talk to them and really interesting. I already interviewed Voltu of Voima fame. I interviewed Uno Melon of this game. I have other people I'd like to interview. I recommend you guys check them out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to keep digging. Okay, I've been mining for a little bit. I'm kind of running into a little bit of an issue here. And that's that this is very slow. The dynamite was supposed to help. I didn't get it all, obviously. I need a lot of stone. And considering that the stone that I had, that was like 650 pieces of stone, I think, that only covered the first wall and a little bit of the back walls. I need a lot of stone, a lot. Not to mention the interior and like everything else I might want to build. I need a lot of stone. This pickaxe, not fast enough. There's kind of our problem. So progression, interestingly, it is locked kind of behind the dungeon. Now we could also mine in the snow biome for better ores. However, those caves are a lot more dangerous than what we've seen so far. Here's what I think I should do. Let's prepare. Let's get ready to fight the Forest Spirit boss. We'll kill the Forest Spirit, then we'll raid the dungeon, try to get good loot. So that way we can mine stone faster. We can get better stuff to build our fort with. I think that's a good idea. Plus it'll be fun. We're going to need to gear up. All right, we've got one ominous deer skull we can work with. Blueberry bagel, potion of poison. I'm not drinking that. Didn't we have a potion station? Did we not have a potion? Oh, wait, that was in the other world, wasn't it? Can I make one? Can I not actually craft a potion station? I hover over wood. Yeah, potion station needs glass. I guess that makes sense. Gimme. So look, let's not only gear up, but let's get some consumables. I can make an everything bagel. What does that do? I don't know what it does. It just says one with everything. Make an armored potion. Increases your defense by 4 points for 5 minutes. That's really good. It takes a blueberry and iron. I'll take that. Weak health potion, weak health potion. We can craft that with mushrooms or blueberries and iron. Oh, we've got enough of those. Can't this be used to make a stronger one? Doesn't seem like it. Potion of poison. I see no utility for that whatsoever. A potion of speed. Potion of regeneration. Slowly recover hearts for 5 minutes. That's good. What can we craft stuff? Can we craft the melon? Blueberry? Look, this blueberry can be used to make a normal potion. That requires a more rare ore. Returning potion. Potion of flight. Armored potion we already have. What can the mushroom be used for? Same stuff. Glowing mushroom. Potion of poison. No need for that at all. Bagel. I assume the bagel improves stats in some way. Would it be worth making an everything bagel? I kind of think we should at least try it. Maybe it'll help. We can cook this red meat in the furnace. I think that'll heal us. Not sure. So I don't need that potion of returning. I need all these. Next thing I would like to use, we have this iron bow. That's okay, but it's slow and it doesn't really do a lot of damage. So let's see what else we can do here. We have the iron bow. Let's range 2, cooldown of half a second. Crossbow has a slightly slower cooldown. I guess the difference is just how they load arrows. The silver crossbow, same amount of damage, slightly slower, and more expensive. That's interesting. It's slightly slower, but it is more expensive. I kind of wonder if it would be worth it. You know, maybe that price is justified in some way. Let's try it. We can afford it. Just for comparison, this is how the bow works. You hold one of the buttons, and it charges up like that, and then you let go. And there you go. The silver crossbow. Oh, I guess there's no charging. Whereas, like, this thing, you gotta charge it up. But you can spam it if you want. Yeah, this crossbow seems a lot better. Interesting how that went. Let's replace the pickaxe with the silver crossbow. We have the silver sword. Arrows, we have ranged 1 arrow. We have ranged 2 reinforced arrows. And then we have explosive arrows. I probably shouldn't accidentally shoot those. Let's see, can we craft our arrows into, ooh, flaming arrows. Reinforced arrows. We can make 16 reinforced arrows with 4 iron and 1 piece of wood. Not bad. We don't have enough iron. Looks like 4 pieces of silver makes 32 reinforced arrows. Not bad. Let's make slightly better helmet, slightly better pants. Let's find a good area to fight this guy. Kind of want a lot of room. I think the issue for us right now is that I'm not fast. If you want to sprint, you can do it. But you need a special trinket to be able to do that. That's the boots of sprinting. I'm sure it's called something like that. Oh, whatever. Oh, look, here's the desert. We haven't really gone over here. I believe the forest spirit needs to be fought in the forest, you know? Now, this beach seems kind of like a nice spot. Hopefully that's big enough, you know? There's a lot of water around here, which might make it difficult. But it also might slow down mobs that he summons. Mobs, monsters, creatures, whatever. Because eating this steak, it does heal me, okay? Okay, armored potion, potion of speed, regeneration potion, food, bagel, crate potion. Well, we don't need that. It's interesting the armored potion says it gives you extra defense for 5 minutes, but the speed potion doesn't say anything. I guess we'll find out, right? We'll also find out what the heck the everything bagel does. I don't know how this is going to go. Speed, 300 seconds. 300 seconds are the same. That thing. Regeneration. There we go. Where is he? Oh, hello. Gotta avoid those flying deer skull things. This guy is on the front page of the Alamria Steam page art thing. Oh yeah, he summons wizards. Get out of here, dude. This is kind of the strat, I think. Just like shoot him over and over. Oh jeez. All right, steak. Oh my god. Oh god, I'm in the water. Let's try the everything bagel. I don't know what that did. It gave me a meat bone thing. Got him down to half. He's got me down to half. Oh, there we go. Oh, crap. This is actually harder than I remember. Come on, come on, come on. I can't even reach him. Crap. Oh, oh. I was in the water. Come on. Nice. Not bad. Did I get anything from that? Oh, look at that. I did. Thorn Blade. Melee 7. Cooldown 0.4 seconds. Wow. Yes, please. Forest Key. Not bad. So what does this do? Small meal. You had a small meal. Small boost to stats. That's what the everything bagel did. It lasts a long time. Light snack was also a tiny boost to stats. Armored. Well, it went pretty well. I guess I could have been using the bigger health potions. All right, whatever. All right, let's see what this place is all about. Door unlocked. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my god. That was really, that was close. At least we fall in water. Wow, look at this place. So, in recent updates, I've been to this place before, but it's been totally overhauled. Wow, look at that, huh? What are even these blocks? What was that? Slime algae. Okay, you know what I was saying earlier about the entwining system? This is like a trap block, like a dart trap, excuse me, I'm talking. It's entwined to that pressure plate. So there's no physical wiring. It's kind of like spiritually wired. Can't get past here. Huh. Actually can't mine anything. What kind of block is this? Forest jelly. It's really pretty. Got a lot of potions stacked up I can try. There's a tree in here. Also, before these were just square rooms, they weren't decorated at all, but the creator really went all out. That is quite impressive. Hello. We need another forest key to get in there. Oh, this is a lot more dynamic. Oh. This blade takes down a mob in 3 hits, though, or a monster. Uh-huh. I'm not doing that. Whoa. These weird mushroom skeleton guys are in here. Or whatever they are. Can we climb this? Yeah, we can. Okay. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! Literally a spike pitfall. At least I can break these, huh? Dang, this has really changed a lot. I'm very impressed with this. At least we can place blocks in here, huh? Really quite visually stunning. Ouch. I feel like that's a dead end, though. It's a little confusing. We need to get another forest key. Somehow. Whoa. Forest jelly? Huh. You know, I can break these. There are some things I can break. Not many. Ouch. Somehow I still activated that. A little bit of parkour here. Ah, parkour. Parkour, avoid the spike trap. There's nothing to step on there. Yeah, dang it. Dang it. Dang it. There we go. And a locked door. Okay, that was that way. A lot of locked doors. I don't really know how we're supposed to get a key. I imagine from a chest or something? Why are you burning? Oh. It's interesting we can collect forest algae. What can you do with that? Nothing. That's a trap. Can I activate it with a block? No. Step here. Ouch. Step here, and then here. To get across. I'm Indiana Jonesing it right now. Wow, that's a big room. Be really careful. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my gosh, it's like a chain reaction. Excuse me. Whoa. I like that painting. I'm gonna take it. These lily pads are pretty too. You know what? I don't know if I can find them anywhere else. I'm gonna take those. Fun decoration. Is this grass? Yeah, just dirt. Table and chairs. Another painting. Little crafting station. Another painting. This is just decorated really cool. Can't wait to see what the snow dungeon is like. Oh, hey, look at that. That makes that slime jelly invisible. Another room like this. Maybe the forest key's inside one of these trees? No, worth a shot. Excuse me, dude. And another dead end. Huh. Do I have to fight another forest spirit to get into one of those rooms? I would assume that once I'm in here, there's more ways to get forest keys. A lot of mobs are falling in there. I would assume that's not intended. Got a white torch. Man, what the heck am I supposed to do? Hey. Ah. Oh, wait, can I just get around that? Dang it. Time for ladders. I don't remember which way we came from. Probably this way. Jump. Oh, no, no. Another forest key only entrance. What do I do? Dang it. There's this gold stairs. Cool painting. There's stairs here. Maybe we gotta go up these. I still haven't explored everything yet. All this, yeah, that doesn't lead to anything. I think with the forest jelly, we need a special pickaxe just to break that. Have we gone every direction? I feel like we have. Yeah. How are we supposed to get out of here? Oh, there's a ladder. Ta-da. Excuse me, sir. Careful, dude. What's in here? Oh. Look at that. Wait, what is happening? The water is activating these and then just destroying itself? That is so odd. Okay, I think we're getting onto something, maybe? Perhaps? This is a unique room. I like these blue lanterns. We'll be acquiring them. Look at all the freaking maze of pressure plates. Careful, me. Oh, no way. Wow. Bye-bye, little buddy. Leads to nowhere. Leads to nowhere. Friendly fire. Ah. Alright, well, there's nothing up here. Starting to think that literally the intended method is just, like, beat the boss more times. It's another way up. This leads somewhere up. Fake out step. And hey, that leads, oh man, like the lantern though. Yeah, so far this has been a big maze that leads nowhere. It's beautiful, but I've got nothing to show for it, really. Oh, how about this way? Wonderful. Oh, another one of these rooms. Wow, it just keeps going. You know. No, I'm quite poison adverse. Hello. It's quite expansive. Oh yeah, this just leads out. Oh, there's a lot of iron here. Not what I'm here for, though. Whoa. Oh, hey, this little cobblestone, these little mine hut, it spawned right inside of the forest dungeon. Not like we're going to get anything good from it, though. Flaming arrows, I'll take that. If we were lucky, that would have given us an extra way into one of these structures, but it did not. It really just keeps going and going and going. It's not from killing mobs, it's not from breaking crates, there's no random chests we can loot. It appears that, unless it's just exceedingly rare, I don't see a key in here. There's no special room that I've found. I'll have this one let out as well. Huh. We're not going to find the answer out here, but we are going to find, looks like amethyst in droves. Okay, so from what I understand, only the way to get keys is from the forest spirit. I did a little research in the Discord. Now, you used to be able to get them from normal enemies, but I think that was changed. So we have options. We can just fight the forest spirit again, or I think we can potentially cheese it by using TNT on the forest jelly blocked doors. Thing is, I don't know if like the key only being behind the forest spirit is on purpose, or if it's a bug of some kind. It used to be you had a 5% chance of getting them from a forest enemy. That's what I've read. So I think I am just going to use the dynamite because fighting the forest spirit takes a lot of resources. I know. Call me crazy. I'm a cheater. Bam. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's obviously a chest here. I don't want to blow up the chest. There's some dynamite. Oh, I didn't mean to throw it too. Oh, that didn't do it. Yeah, I thought that would do it. That must have been fixed. Huh. Yeah, we really do just need to do the forest spirit again. Okay. All right, I guess we're going to fight this thing again. I'm feeling a little bit lazy. I don't want to go all the way over there. Let's just do it. Where is he? Oh. I just realized I forgot to drink my potions. Should probably do that. Potion of speed. I do a lot more damage to him when he doesn't have his shields up. That's interesting. I never considered that. So even if I can shoot him when he's got his shields up, it takes way less damage than normal. And also these sometimes stick around after. I guess the trick is to destroy the shields first, then fight him. You know, that probably would make it go quicker. Let's do that again since I still have all my stats. I want to get a lot of keys here. Are using what we've now learned. See, a lot of damage. And then, look, now he's got the shields up. I barely do any damage to him. Even if I directly hit him, I think. If I just go for the shields, hit him 3 times, they disappear, and then I hit him and it's like I do double damage. Oh, oh my god. Oh. That was the explosive arrow. It's odd that it switched to that when it's not equipped. Oh no. Does it actually break the ground? It does. Okay, great. Oh, we've tested that theory. The forest spirit bar is still there even though he's gone. You know, he leaves if you die. I'm gonna put these away forever. I believe we can make more ominous deer skulls. Just from skull fragments. Make 2 more. Can I make another armored potion? Yeah, I can. I don't know about a speed potion. That was helpful, but I don't think we can do it. Oh, I can't summon them. I just have to wait till the next night, and I just drank the potion I made. All right. All right, I actually AFK'd and waited till the next night, and that still didn't make the bar disappear. Relogging fixed it, so whatever. All right, 3rd try. Hello. That does a lot more damage now. Ow. Oh my god, okay. That armored potion is really important. Yeah, so just relog? Lack of speed, lack of good armor. That really kills me. So far... Get rid of the shields. I don't think I've taken a single hit yet. Oh. Oh, man. Am I out of arrows? I'm out of arrows. I used them all. Right when he's about to die. Ah, are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Darts. Crap. Gonna make some more. Yes, I can. Okay. And to heal up. Heal up, heal up, heal up. Okay, boom. What is this? That's weird. Okay, I killed him, but like randomly the tooltips for those effects were showing up. It's like my mouse was over them when it really wasn't. Look, his little magic blasts are getting stuck in the water. Okay, so we just generally need like a lot of arrows to kill him, and we need a lot of ore to make the arrows. I don't have that. What a mess, man. What a mess. We have 2 forest keys. That's just gonna have to be enough. Felt like it lasted a lot longer than it did. That was 3 minutes. Alright, let's go. Oh, there's a chest in here. Door locked. What do we get? No forest pickaxe. Spoon fragment can be combined to make something useful. Jelly spoon allows you to phase through forest jelly. Okay, if we get 5 of those, encouraging. Ah. Also, every time I relog, my camera shake is reset. If I was set at 1, this is what it should be. Because I find it, like, disorienting. Shoot. Ah, shoot. Anything good in here? Please? No force pick. Okay, but we can, I guess, craft those into spoons. So it's a trinket. If I equip that, I can phase through forest jelly? Oh, wait. Can I phase through this stuff? Oh, no! I knew it. You gotta be careful, I guess. You gotta be careful if you have that on or not. That's kind of clever. Try it again. Alright. Whoop. Nice! Finally! Oh, we got the entwiner. That's the logic system I was talking about. This is what we came here for. A slightly better pickaxe. And we can use this to now unlock everything, I think. Yeah, this can break all forest blocks. Now we can just break the doors. Ah, man, that's so much nicer. Blessing of the Forest to consumable grants an extra 2 seconds of stamina. Alright, all we had to do was beat him 3 times, and then we got what we wanted. Let's take this thing off. Boom. What are these? Silver bars. They're kind of pretty, you know? What is that? Boots of sprinting. Wearing these gives you the energy to run around. Nice. If I hold control, I can finally sprint. Of course, I have limited stamina. Let's go down this way. This is really interesting. Progression, I mean. Alright, well, I mean, I'm not really seeing anything super new at the moment. I think we've got... Nope! That was so close. I think we got mostly everything this place has to offer. Let's just poke around a little bit more. I guess. I mean, it's tempting. In this room, there's just a chair. Let's try up here. Not bad. Jelly spoon, ta-da. You haven't been in here yet. Oh! Oh, and that's the way out. The iron vein. So I could pretty easily just... pretty easily just jump back in here and grab stuff. Alright, well I think we basically exploited this place for all it's worth. What is that? Cube of Curing. Equipping this makes you immune to poison. Alright. Not bad. So, out of curiosity, how much faster is this force pickaxe? It's literally the same. Okay. Exact same cooldown, different pickaxe level, but literally the same. Alright. Awesome. Okay, so I went to craft some planks. Held shift right clicked the planks and you know, it disappeared, and then I crafted 1,000,000 copper helmets, which have, by the way, 0 resale value. Wonderful. And a silver helmet. I didn't need to waste my money on that at all. This is the point in the video when I suggest a decrafter, or perhaps that should be a late game item. Now generally decrafters can kind of break things, so I don't know. It's tough. Anyway, I was trying to craft a door. Door's in here. Alright. I finished up these walls. First floor is done. Now, I did something different. I painted these light gray that surround the windows, because I just think that that makes it stand out a lot better. Moon's about to go down, so I guess you'll see what this looks like in a day, which will give you a better understanding of how that looks. There's also another thing I'd like to try that just kind of came to me. We have these lamps. Cost 5 pieces of wood to make. They're a light source. Let's say I put that there, and then I paint it gray. I was kind of hoping the whole thing would turn gray so it looked like a part of the stone structure. It doesn't seem to have been the case. Okay, you know what else I can do? Pretty sure I can craft lights of some kind. You can buy logic pixels, but you can't buy them. I bet you need glass. There we go. Alright, I got some white lamps here. Anyway, this is an option that we have. We can place lights as a fence. You know, maybe that looks good. We can even incorporate these lights into the structure if we wanted to. Like this, perhaps? I'm gonna have to think about that. The other thing we can do is we can make use of these dungeon lamps that we got. I assume these can be colored. Oh yeah, they don't. They kind of float. No, they can't be painted. Yeah, perhaps the white lamps are the way to go. There's one other thing I forgot to do. This Blessing of the Forest that I got earlier. It says grants an extra 2 seconds of stamina. I read that and I kind of like dismissed it as a temporary consumable, like the bagel or something. But if you actually read this, it grants an extra 2 seconds of stamina. It doesn't say for how long. That's because this is permanent. So we can sprint for about this long right now. If I take this, it gives us an extra 2 seconds. Now we can sprint a little bit longer. It's kind of a permanent upgrade that beating the Forest Spirit gives you, which is pretty nice. All right, enough of that hullabaloo. I want to start working on the entrance here. I have an idea for this already. Let's do this, actually. There's our entrance, and I've made concrete. Oh, hey, that doesn't connect. I forgot about that. Guess I'll just have to do full blocks. Trying to make a cool window right here. Alright, I am a little curious how that looks. That doesn't really look that good. But it's interesting, I guess. Trying to make a intriguing window shape here. It's not really working. Alright, we have other options. Here's my other idea. Let's use stairs. I think these will connect. No, they won't. Huh, I thought they would. I wanted to put a circle window above this thing. Like, it looks like that might not be possible. Let's keep trying. Let's do this. You know, that's better, but that's just not quite what I'm looking for. I'm thinking maybe instead of trying to give this depth with the paneling, let's just do full blocks. Bear with me, this is kind of the design process. It's a little better, it's a little more straightforward, you know. Also do this on the entrance. Oh, well, now let's paint it. Oops. That's certainly a way to do it. How's this look with the door? Can we paint it? Oh, we can paint it. I guess white doesn't affect it too much. Black affects it a lot. What about powder? It only darkens it a little bit. Gray? Light gray? It's kind of our option for the door. I feel like there's a lot more that could be done here. Thick oak logs. Let's actually move everything back a little bit. I think can I darken these so they all match? Yeah, look at that. Painting makes this game so cool, man. You know those really crazy builds that people do in Terraria? That are like, some of them look like paintings or crazy perspective shots, and they use a million types of blocks painted in a million different ways. You could do that in this game, I swear, with 3D. It just takes someone a lot smarter than I am to figure that out, I guess. Kind of a cool door, right? I have what I think might be an interesting idea to make this look cooler. Actually, no. Interesting, but not quite where I want it. That's kind of interesting, maybe? Kind of thought it might be neat to have like little dots above the door. I don't know, clearly I'm quite indecisive, but I think I'm on the right track. Okay, here's what I got. I decided to do a little bit of a trick here. So, I had these pillars that held up this kind of arch thing, but they look too thin. Now, the only block that has a model this shape is tree trunks, I believe. And so I'm like, well, why don't I just do tree trunks and then paint them? Well, they don't exactly take on the color that you paint them with. So the best I could do is kind of like gray it out a little bit. That's birch right there. And it looks like this, and then I added those together. I wanted these 3 spikes here. Now, if I had done fences and then panels, they would have connected to each other, whereas these logs don't connect to anything. So I thought that was like a neat little trick. Anyway, I also started building the next wall here. I wanted these next two floors to be very similar looking, and I changed every single block in this so many times. Ran off, took a look at it. I redid this a lot until I got what I liked. And so I like this. I think that looks good enough. Thought about putting gray arches above the windows. I might still do that. We'll see. Perhaps I'll compare one side to the other. I think it's looking good so far. The only thing I might be liable to change is the white concrete that's behind these blocks here. That just might need to be different. Maybe like large bricks. Kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. But anyway, yeah, I have my mission. I basically just have to repeat this pattern all the way around. Check this out. I'm doing some caving, getting some more resources, and I stumbled upon this mine shaft. So I think this is an earlier structure in the game. It's been around for a little bit. There's not like, too much to the concept at the moment. Maybe it'll be overhauled in the future. I don't know. But I think it's worth checking out. Alright, let's actually look at it. Ooh, ore. Yeah, they have these rooms right here, these larger rooms. Sometimes with a nice chest. Look at this one. This one's a trap chest. You can just barely see the dynamite underneath it. Now it's safe. If I had a minecart on me, I could actually ride one of these. Maybe I can make one. I think I need to make another workbench. Can I make a minecart? Yes. Alright, let's see where it goes. I think these work kind of like Terraria minecarts do. Ooh, here we go. Whoa, whoa! What? That was crazy. Oh my god. I didn't know I had explosive arrows. I took 2 hits. Looks like I phased through the wall. Well, that's interesting. These things usually sprawl a decent distance. Dang! I think that was the last of them. How deep can we go here? Hey, look at that. I think that's the forest dungeon. We're pretty close, I think. So much of this video has been spent mining just purely because it's a lot of fun. It's very profitable. Kind of want to see how far down this cave will take us. This is something. Nothing useful. Explosive arrows. Ooh, gold. Nice. I vaguely remember there being an ore called Alumeriite. Allumerite. I don't know, something like that. I remember that being a thing. Like, the deeper you go, the more you are likely to find it, but it is incredibly rare. I think there's only spawns like 1 at a time. A lot of gold down here, though. That's pretty nice. How much deeper we gotta go? Ooh. Ooh. Look at that flower. That means we're getting close to the undergrowth. Yeah, look at that. Definitely getting a better crossbow after this. Okay, so this is... I'm gonna put that away. Flower of the forest, so we can use that to make forest ingots, which could then be used to make the forest tools that we have. What is that? Is that a diamond? That's a diamond. I don't need these bricks. Nice. You know what's odd is that I vaguely remember that the undergrowth or this underground biome with these flowers Used to have a completely different stone. It used to have like bushes and stuff. I don't know if it's a bug with the new generation or if that was a design decision that was changed. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, look. I think that's Allumeria. Aluminium, that's what it is. Use that to make good health potions. I'm not wasting on that. And a bagel. Interesting. Look at these caves, huh? A lot of good stuff down here. Wow. So I think, yeah, undergrowth crate. That's what it's called. We got a gold bar from that. Fought to the bitter end. Oh. About time we found another one of these. Nice. Red butterfly. All this stuff I can't hold is just chasing me around. Ooh, star crate. Air horn. It looks like an air horn to me. What does this do? Air horn? Aha. See if I can reach that. Dang it. Alright, let's grab this stuff. It's worth it. Whoa. Some of these lesser ores I'm not really bothering to collect in full just because they can't do a whole lot for me at this point. But you know, iron has a pretty good utility. Ooh, 3. Lava is harmful for your health. Alright, look, as much as I would love to keep going and exploring here, because it is a lot of fun. I want to finish the house. I want to decorate it, and I kind of want to go fishing a little bit more. There's still a lot more to do that I want to get done. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on fire. Phew. Put everything away. We can now craft forest ingots with that flower of the forest and gold. I get about 20 of those. And we can craft, oh yeah, really good stuff with that. Nice. Tempted to get an axe, but I don't chop that many trees. I'll do a chest plate. Nice. I was tempted to do a montage, but honestly, montages take a lot of effort, a lot of time to edit. They take very little screen time. I just think maybe it's the way that I do them. Maybe they're just not very interesting. So you know what I'd rather do is I'd rather just kind of talk. Spring is here in Michigan, where I live. The spring air is out. I love spring air, by the way. Actually, you know what? I love the air with every seasonal change. You can always smell it. You can breathe it in. It's different. I like it. But right now, I like spring air. I love winter, too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just excited for what's next. But also because spring is maple syrup season. My dad and I, every few years, we've made maple syrup. Tap the trees, collect it, chop wood, evaporate it for days, and then we bottle it up and keep it in a big dresser. And I think I enjoy syrup more than anyone else in my family. I'm pretty confident in saying that. What? I just pressed space and X instead of E. Look at that. That must be the item ID. It's interesting the gold pick is number 4. The frying pan is number 20. But stone is 207. That must be item ID. I didn't intend to do that just then. That is interesting. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, we make maple syrup. I love to use it. I like to use it in tea, breakfast. What I've been doing lately is I've been making just oatmeal, just plain oatmeal, right? And I've been sweetening it with maple syrup and then putting a lot of frozen blueberries in there. Something about frozen blueberries. I really like it. And then with granola, which is just more oats. But it's good. It's a good breakfast. Maybe not the most nutritionally balanced. My fridge is broken, so I kind of have to be practical. But yeah, I'm excited for maple season. The last few weeks, I wasn't uploading every week. That's because I went to go visit my girlfriend. My girlfriend's studying very far away from here, 10 hours away from here. I still visit her, try to visit her as often as I can, right? She tries to visit me as often as she can. It was her birthday, and then it was also Valentine's Day within 2 weeks. So I spent 2 weeks over there. So what did we do? We went up north to the Laurentian Mountains, really, really snowy, and we hiked around because hiking is cheap. It's a cheap vacation thing to do. Always. That's what I recommend everyone do if they're going on vacation. They're like, oh, I can't afford vacation. Just hike. Seriously. And going outside is great for you. It's good for fitness, better for your mental health. And it's like $20 for a full day park pass. Some places it's free. That's why I recommend it so much. We hiked. It was really, really cold. There was 2 feet of snow on the ground. We hiked several kilometers. I mean, as much as you could do in the snow, to ice waterfalls. Really quite beautiful. We got a nice view of the valley and the mountains. Now, I don't like to spend money. But when I was there, I bought, and I'm just really proud of this. I don't know, or just really happy about it. I bought like the nicest pair of winter boots ever. I guess you don't often hear a guy talk about his brand new boots that he loves so much, but I love them. They're great. They're probably the most expensive in the store, but the way that I see it, if I was like, I need boots, but like I don't want to spend a lot of money. If I buy the cheap ones, I might end up paying more in the long run, and I'm going to have a crappier experience with them. You know what I mean? I'm going to end up paying more in the long run because I'm going to need replacements a lot sooner. They're more likely to break. They're not going to protect me from the cold or moisture or water nearly as good as just doling out the cash immediately. I think it's important to think of things in that way. Like generally I go for the cheapest thing. That's just a rule of thumb. Usually, like sometimes I buy a lot of expired food. I still do that on occasion because it's cheaper. But stuff like tools, some tools you want to have the good ones right away because you know they'll last you like 20 years. These boots are an example of that. They'll last me 20 years. They're certified to negative 80 Celsius. And they're the only boots that have this really great leg garter thing, which you can pull up around your legs and then wrap. So like you're waterproof up to your knees, you know. That's really helpful, I think. Any kind of moisture is your enemy when you're hiking in the snow. I've always needed a pair of good boots. Never really had any. I've always had cheap boots. When I was a kid, I had like those little cloth and plastic boots. For the past several years, I've just been wearing muck boots, which were like really cheap from the farm store. They've got holes in them, so they're not even waterproof. So that's what I've been using. And I'm just really happy that I have something really nice, I guess. I also bought my girlfriend a pair of new boots. Now hers are a little bit more fashionable than heavy duty, of course. But she loved them. They kept her super warm. And it was her birthday. So winter's almost over. But my advice to you, no matter what time of the year it is go outside and hike and see nature. Kind of lame advice, right? I mean, that's not very engaging. But I'm not an advice channel. I don't want to be. It's not what I want to do. Really, I just kind of play games that I like and I talk about my life experiences. But it kind of ties in because I think that spending a lot of time in the real world and nature in that way just increases my appreciation for really creative games that are developed creatively and allow you to be creative. A lot of my inspiration comes from the real world. I see like a really cool building, I'll take a photo of it in real life, or I'll just jot it down mentally, or I'll see some pretty like nature formation. I'll keep that in mind, or whatever thoughts I have in the trail, or I feel like I have good creative thoughts out there. I like to write down all my ideas that I get. Anyway, I think it's good for a creative mind. It's good for an engaged mind, and it's good for a healthy mind. So I don't really see any downsides. Taking some of the time that you out of your day that may have been wasted. I'm not very good at budgeting my time. I'd rather take that time and put it into being outside, experiencing, you know, the natural world in that way. I'm going to try, right? I'm not great at it. Anyway, this is coming together. There's really a lot of windows. Having to go back and paint everything makes it a little bit extra challenging, but it's not too difficult. Yeah. There we go. All right, I'm going to continue building and I'll let you know when I'm at the next phase. Let me show you guys something. So I've been using a lot of oak logs to build the roof of this structure. And so I've been farming a lot of trees. Well, trees actually take a while to cut compared to other blocks that are really quite fast to mine. Trees take a while. But I found some interesting behavior that controls how trees will break when you mine them. As you know, when I break the bottom block of a single tree, that whole thing will break and fall. But I've learned that if I break this block here, it will break these surrounding trees as well, because I guess they're connected. So watch this right here. See, it broke all three of those trees, but there's kind of an issue in that it leaves the stumps of those other two trees behind. And that's because when I break a log, it only breaks on top of it, and then anywhere around that block that's on top of it, but it doesn't do right to the side. Because of this, I'm actually spending the exact same amount of time cutting these trees just to get rid of these stumps. But that means, say if I did this, all right, I placed a log underneath there, which is invisible. Its rendering is invisible, but it is there. So if I break that, boom, all three trees gone. So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about how I could really abuse this, and I grew up this 5x5 square of trees here. And then I tried to grow the center tree one block down into the ground. However, it wouldn't grow. And I don't know if it's because there was too many blocks nearby or if it wasn't on grass. That's kind of the working theory, that trees that aren't on grass will not grow. So that was dirt and that was dirt. What, it was a 1 block deep hole. Because I had just recently dug it, and then when I planted the sapling, there wasn't a chance for it to grow into grass, and then it didn't grow. So perhaps it's how it works here. I'm still gonna try to break all these. Look at that, they turned that invisible. I wonder how many I can break by doing this. Wow. Oh my lord. That was literally all of them. Holy crap. That is seriously an incredible tree farming idea, mechanic that you could do. But it does leave these leaves everywhere, which don't decay on their own. And they don't burn or anything, so it's not like I can very easily get rid of them. Anyway, this is what I got so far. I actually don't remember what the progress was the last time I filmed, but I've been really working hard on this. I've been trying to get the roof going here. I capped off this middle tower. I capped off the side towers. It's been quite tedious. I've been adding little details here and there as well. But yeah, a ton of progress has been made. Let's see if I can go to the top and you can get a better look at that. I like how I can climb any side of this ladder. Yeah, the interior is not done. I don't even know if I'll have time to do the interior, unfortunately. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Look at that, we're at the very top. I still have to finish that roof, but let's go out with our hang glider thing. Also, that infinitely increasing FOV thing, that was patched. All right, look, here we are. This is how it looks like from this angle. Pretty cool, I think. Oh, ouch. Let's finish up the roof of that one tower really quickly. Ladder and hang glider combo is really helpful. I just made a mushroom burger. Man, when I was a kid, I used to not really care for burgers too much. I didn't really like them. I guess I was a little bit more picky. Ever since I started making them myself, I love burgers, man. I made this delicious mushroom burger. It was just like little bell. It was just little white mushrooms. What I did is I sauteed a yellow onion and butter and olive oil. And then I added in a bunch, 2 cloves chopped garlic. And then sliced mushrooms after those cooked for a little bit. And then I put in a tiny bit of balsamic vinegar and sherry. And then ground sage, ground thyme, salt and pepper, of course. And then I had those cooking away. And then, of course, the burger. It's ground beef, which I mixed in with a bunch of pepper, salt, and garlic powder. You shape them into balls and then you smash them down in the skillet after you let them sear on the bottom a little bit. I've found that smash burgers are always more flavorful, in my experience, than just preforming the patties by hand. And you throw that all together with some aged white cheddar on a bun, and then so tasty. Man, that's so delicious. Really, really filling. And it's fast. It really doesn't take that long to make. There we go. There's the peak of the last tower. I really hate that this isn't finished. If the outside of this structure is any indication on how long the interior would take, I'm gonna need like another week to do it, and I don't have that kind of time. But there's other things I would like to focus on. See if I can get some of these leaves. Get out of here, leaves. Yeah, there's other stuff I'd like to try. Let's clear these cotton plants out of here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to... Oops. I'm gonna cover this beach partially, and with some dirt. Let's grab some sand over here. If I need more sand, I will just come back and dig underneath here or something. There we go. Here's my thought, okay? I think it would be cool to have a garden in front of this build, just like these old English manors would have, you know? And gardening in this game is really interesting. There's actually a lot that you can do. I think I hinted at it earlier, that plants have a wider use than just, you know, eating. Like they'd be used in making potions, and they'd be used in making tools, actually. You'll see what I mean in a second. First, let's, I guess, remove the dirt here. Should have thought about that when I just placed it, whatever. I think it'd be cool to extend this out into the water a little bit, actually. Alright, cool. Now we got a pier. I'm going to paint this a cool color. I'm going to use the pastel paint roller. I don't really use it very often. What does baby blue look like? Not even different. Okay, let's do lemon yellow. Yeah, that's cool. Now it's our new spawn point. Guardrails. And grab some lamps here. Now those aren't going to connect to the ground, but they are kind of neat looking. They're not very bright. Not nearly as bright compared to a torch, but they look good. Okay, so we have 6 types of seeds here. Can we buy any more seeds from the alpha shop? No, I don't think so. I feel like there's more than this. You know, there's more seeds than this. I don't know, I'll have to worry about it another time, I guess. Alright, let's make a path out this way. Oh. Oh yeah, this is that giant sand pit that I dug earlier. I mob-proofed it with dirt panels. You know how you can make, or I guess they're called flooring. You know how you can do that? Well, apparently that mob-proofs it. Light does not mob-proof, okay? Because this is stone, and I think that it's not exposed to the sky, mobs will constantly spawn under here. Doesn't matter how bright it is. I've mob-proofed it with flooring. That's how I've done it. That seems to have done the trick. Spawning rolls here are quite different than Minecraft. And you know something else? The fact that these kind of shapes that we are offered, these shapes here, allow for so much you don't even realize. Like being able to make a panel for every single block has been such a game changer, with like getting the shapes of these roofs, getting the shape of some of the outside stuff. I mean, it's seriously a big deal. For those that haven't tried the game, imagine if you had like a glass pane sized version of every single block, right? That's basically vertical slabs. And you know what else? I put this in the wrong spot, dang it. And you know what else? The developer of Allumeria, Unamelon, has said that they actually do want to add vertical slabs, and maybe some other block types as well. So even more creative opportunities. Alright, let's make a hoe. I actually don't see a hoe here. I think we can only make a hoe from flint. No? Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. We can only make a hoe from iron, it looks like. That's the only kind of hoe that's afforded to us, which makes sense, especially with tools that don't have durability. Alright. Alright, so we have 6 types of crops. Wheat, glow bean, pumpkin, tomato, watermelon, and arrowroot. So we don't have a lot of each of them. We don't have blueberry bushes either. I know that we can get those, though. So for pumpkins and for melons, I believe those grow to the side, just like Minecraft. So, yeah, look over here. We have a pumpkin growing. One little pumpkin growing. Actually, that looks like it grows right on the block. Huh. Now that I think about it, we could also plant cotton in the front garden, and we could also plant blueberry bushes. Like this. Wheat grows like that, cotton grows like that. Melons grow this way. Okay, no, they don't grow like Minecraft. I guess I had that wrong. Be gone. That's good to know. Really don't have any pumpkin seeds. I wonder if I can craft some more with the pumpkin? Nope. Nope, you just get the pumpkin back. Okay, so we actually have 8 types of crops. So let's just change this up a little bit. Ooh. Okay, there we go. First, I don't know, let's do wheat. Oh, we're getting worms. This is a lot of space. We don't really have that much. Actually, I think I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Dry soil. Huh, so that's a specific block. Oh no, it's dying! Yeah, we need water, don't we? I think that we need to craft sprinklers. So we can grab a sprinkler. Those are expensive. We can make a watering can. That's always full because magic. Okay, so I want to know how this works exactly. Oh, wow. That is so cool. Only goes in a 5x5 radius. Because it didn't hit these ones. I wonder if we could enable that with logic. Huh. Well, we can also manually water with this watering can. Very cool. Trying to think, what's the best place to put these? Let's do this, okay? Stick with me here. Okay, and we do it like this, and then I'm gonna place this just a little closer, and then boom, whenever we want this to be watered, just right-click it, and then boom, that should cover everything. That is cool, man. It's already growing, see? Alright, it took us a minute, but we got there. I'm just gonna dig some of this out and place the soil, the tilled earth I accidentally mined because, well, it's not like I really want to hold on to it. Might as well. What do we plant here? Let's do arrowroot. That'll be fun. We don't have much of anything. Seeds seem to be pretty rare. Like, we have a lot of other stuff as far as loot goes, because we've done just so much exploring. But like seeds, we don't have a lot of that. I actually don't mind. I like that there's some items that are difficult to get, I guess. Imagine if you had these sprinklers in Vintage Story. That would make watering your crops so much easier. Oh wait, this is 6x6. I think I messed up the dimensions of this. Oh, brother. Alright, I'm actually gonna go through the effort and actually move all this over. My bad, my bad. Obtain a new crop through mutation. What did I get? Eh? Did I get an extra tomato seed? I don't see that I get this pumpkin. Did I not put it back from before? Yeah, you can get a mutated crop. You can get a random one growing that you didn't plant. I have heard of that. That's interesting, I guess. Alright, that's like for the 3rd time I've adjusted this, but you know what? It's all worth it. I guess let's do watermelon right here. I guess these will grow directly in the watermelon, I hope. I hope I'm correct on that. Yeah, it seems like they don't really need an adjacent thing. This is good, though. We'll get some extra pumpkin seeds. Alright, tangent. Wheat everywhere. My gosh. I think that crops, while they generate on grass, so you can get them in the wild, they're not meant to grow on grass. So, like, they'll automatically kind of update if you place anything next to them and they'll break like that. Like this. Got 28 weed seeds from that. Let's place blueberry bushes here. I don't know if these actually need to be on soil or if they even need to be irrigated. But, there we go. That's so fun. Oh look, that one grew. That's watermelon seeds. Okay, so we've done watermelon, we've done wheat, we've done the blueberry bush, did arrowroot, so we need these ones here. Okay. Let's do tomato seeds. Let's do pumpkin seeds. Don't have enough for that. Glow bean seeds. Oh, these look different. And then the last one, let's do cotton. And again, we don't really need to till soil for this, but it looks nice, you know. And boom, there we have a garden. A lot of this is already growing, so we're never really, it's never gonna need to be really that big. Cotton grows so fast, trees grow so fast, it looks like blueberries grow crazy fast. Wheat does too, and I don't have to replant it either. It just goes back to its first stage. Pretty freaking awesome. Alright, well, while we're waiting for some of these to kind of grow, let's try out fishing again. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing. So I wonder how we use worms for this. Okay, it looks like it automatically consumed it. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's just got to be in my hotbar. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I think so. Whoop. Boom. Salmon. Guys, what's a salmon? There we go. So, like, the trick is just to use your right and your... Oops, I screwed that up. Sometimes it's a little tricky, but the fish kind of moves randomly in that bar, and the head on that bar moves left and right. You click the right mouse button to move it to the right, and the left to move it to the left, and you kind of just have this balancing act as you're fighting the fish, and then you can catch something. I feel like I tried to explain this at the beginning of the video when I first tried fishing. I also feel like I really screwed up the explanation, so hopefully it makes more sense. Better yet, try it for yourself. So we got a salmon and a minnow. You really don't have to wait very long for these. Easy. Oh, great. If I don't break, you can actually use this for decoration. So as you know, there's better types of fishing rods. So the way that we craft a sturdy rod is with 10 iron, of course, but also it looks like 20 fish fillets, which means you got to do a lot of fishing before you can upgrade. And I think that's a pretty neat idea for progression. Oh, it's stuck. That's weird. Moray cod. That makes a gourmet fish fillet. Whereas the minnow just makes a normal fish fillet. What about the salmon? Makes a normal fish fillet. Yeah, this is how many fish we got so far. I wonder if some of these can only be unlocked in certain areas. I'm not sure. Some of these I definitely haven't caught. Like, they just show up here. I guess it's a bug. I don't really know. I don't know which ones I didn't catch yet, but I'm going to try to get them all. Whoop. Carp. It seems like the closer the head is to the center of that bar, it doesn't really seem to affect the speed, like how fast I catch it. But that would be interesting if, like, keeping it in the green made you catch it faster. I already prefer the fishing system to modern Minecraft. I think it's a little bit more rewarding. Here's the thing, you could never improve Minecraft's fishing system. You never could. Not anymore. Because AFK fishing is such a staple. right? It's just a great way to farm enchantments and loot and whatever else. So imagine Minecraft decides they want to make fishing more fun. Well, guess what? If they did something like this, no more AFK fishing. And then everybody would be mad because that means they can't just leave their computer and go do something else while the game farms loot for them. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Isn't that kind of sad? Like they can't introduce fun mechanics or improve old mechanics in that way because it would mess up farms. People would be mad. That's why I appreciate indie games like Allumeria so much, because a lot of change can be made to these, a lot of innovation can be done to these, because there's only a few people working on it, or it's one person working on it. It has a smaller fan base. You know, that's something that you can't really afford to do in modern Minecraft. You think about it, the developers at Mojang, they're trying to please like 300 million people, or however big the audience is, I don't know. New record. What are we at right now? Salmon, Manao, Murray, Cod, Carp, Tuna. Let's cook these suckers up. 1 gourmet fish fillet. 9 normal fish fillets. Whoa, whoa, whoa! That fish was crazy. I was holding left click and it started moving left, but then started going to the right. My fishing rod wasn't strong enough to handle that. Oh my, it wasn't strong enough to handle that either, what the heck? Alright, that's kind of odd, but these are the 4 fish that we've kind of consistently been getting from here. Yay. Oh yeah, look at that. So I've been periodically hearing the sprinklers go off while I've been fishing. So they are automatic, which is pretty cool. Let's cook up these fishes. Alright, that's 21 fish fillet. That means we should be able to make a sturdy fishing rod. Oh, nice. Can reel in trickier fish. So if we go to the alpha shop, we have some bait options here. Magnetic bait increases the odds of fishing up a crate, but I don't need a crate. If there's only, it seems like there's only one type of crate available to us according to... Oh wait, no, there's 2 crates. I never got a rainbow trout. I never got a catfish. That never happened. That must have been those fish I couldn't reel in. I counted for it anyways, I suppose. So we have a crate, and then I guess we have an extra rare crate. Maybe that's what you can get with the magnetic bait? Let's buy some rage bait. Why not? Look at this, the fish fillet can be used to make water walking potion. I like how the potion is shaped like a boot. Can we make it better than a sturdier rod? We can make an obsidian rod. That is cobalt. That's what that is. Oh, hello. That ore, and cobalt I think is only found in winter biomes. Speaking of only being found in winter biomes, I wonder if fishing in the snow area will give us different kinds of fish. Here we are at the top of the ladder. I actually do not remember where the snow biome is. I think it is that direction. See if we can get over there. Oh no, it's the desert. You know what? Maybe the desert has unique fish. I guess this is a bad test because I haven't fished with the sturdy rod in the normal biome yet. That was a little easier. Yeah, it's there's not as much play. Not bad. There's also no monsters out here. I felt like I would have been swarmed by monsters by now. That didn't even tell me what I got. Herring. Okay. Oh yeah, look. There's a wizard. Can they not spawn on sand? Because look, he spawned right there on sandstone. I wonder if they can't spawn on sand. Monsters, I mean. Catfish. We are getting different fish, but I don't know if that's got to do with a different rod, the new biome, or if the water's deeper. I don't know if the depth of the water affects things. Cool if it did. What's our largest fish that we have so far? Looks like it's the tuna by far. Another minnow. Alright, so if I put the rage bait into my hotbar, let's see how this works out. Ooh, it's a little feistier. Ooh. A really small tuna. Small for a tuna. Come on. Another tuna. It'll tell you the size that you got, but like they stack and they don't hold that size. So the size of the fish isn't actually attached to the item. Hooray. So really no enemies. I really don't see any. The desert doesn't have a lot of content right now, but Unomelon has said that he wants to really flesh it out, just like he's fleshed out the forest biome. Like, fleshed out with sub-biomes, with a temple of some kind. Lots of stuff. What? What is that? Watched? Oh my god. What was that? Just eyes. Okay, so I saw these in the distance. I didn't place these red torches. Dude, what the heck? That is not a bit either. Like, I didn't do this as a joke. I kind of flew over here because I'm like, have I been over here? I don't remember going that direction. I did not place these red torches. What is that? What does that do? Staring at me from up in the air. So it doesn't say that it actually, what it actually does to me. Okay, so what happens if I leave? Maybe it's just a thing that happens near red torches. I wonder if I could recreate that if I painted a torch red, like near my own base. That is so creepy, man. Those totally spawned on the surface. I did not put those there. Oh, hey, look. It's another dungeon. I don't know if this is a separate dungeon. I think it's a separate dungeon. There's usually a few of them around. Look at that. There's the winter biome. And there's the snow dungeon. We've got ice here. We have frost algae. We have a different type of stone here called a frozen stone, which I don't think can actually be used to make anything specific. And we've got snow. It should be used to make bricks or snowballs. And it's snowing. How pretty. The different types of trees here. Unomelon is planning sub-biomes for the snow area as well. Look at that. I could actually just get right in here, couldn't I? Huh. That, like, didn't try to stop me. Hello. Excuse me. Fun snowman. What's in this chest? Evil top hat may create life. Snowball splitter. Range 9. My god. Just a heart right here. Stoner regeneration. Restores 1 HP every 4 seconds. That's actually quite useful. Big snowball. Do you want to build a snowman? Ominous. Well, going into here I know is going to be an adventure on its own. I can't do that right now, but dang. This is generated really interestingly. Haha, look at that. It's just everywhere. Oh, look at that. The sand is just ice. It's just ice. Let's try the snowball splitter. Wow. Shoots 4 at once. Oh. Take that. Alright, let's actually try fishing out here. Dang, they got away from me. Too strong for the sturdy rod. The snow's quite pretty. Dang. Couldn't catch that at all. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whoa. Dang. That was like nearly impossible. What do we even get from that? I don't even know what we fished up from that fish. Didn't tell me. Kind of weird, right? Well, rage bait does attract angrier fish. Or so it says. Oh look, that one's just stuck in the center. Oh my god. Dang it, just narrowly missed. So strange. Sneaky fish. Whoop. It didn't tell me what I got that time either. I got a carp. Said I got a salmon, but the text went away immediately. I wonder if it's like as I'm catching the fish, I'm left clicking And that makes the message disappear. Maybe it'd be better if it went into chat. I don't know. Oh, look, it's a snowman. I will not be harassed. Oh, look, there's a blue wizard in there. Or it's an ice wizard. They're more powerful than a normal wizard. They'll freeze you. I don't know if the fish we've been getting in the snow biome is really any different. It seems like it's all the same. One more rage bait. Let's use it. Nice. I actually see some more here in the water. Surface silver. What? The snow caves are like way more dangerous than the normal caves. I know that for a fact. And also the trees here, they're a different color, which is pretty cool. New shade of wood if you want. Let's go down here. Let's just peek. All right. Oh my god. Hello. Dang, that was tough for a fluffy or whatever they're called. Very deep. Look at that, cobalt. Already, ow. Dang. And there's gold right here. That wasn't very deep at all. Oh, look at that, it's a snow golem, or I think. Or a snowman. Abominable snowman? There's cobalt everywhere. Excuse me. Ow. These guys are tough. Oh, hey, look, it's a little snow fort. These can spawn underground like the other forts. There's a gold crossbow. It's slightly faster than a silver crossbow. Cool. Aw. Six hits to take them down. Twice as much as a normal mob in the forest. And they do a lot more damage. I'm already getting carried away. Whoops. Skeletons are still a single hit. We get any more cobalt in here? Yeah. I feel like burning damage should do extra against these guys. Did I just come out of this one? No, that's a different... Oh! Oh! Oh my god. Can I eat some steak? I put on my heart of regeneration thing. Oh my gosh. That really damaged me. I got a lot of stuff from it though. I didn't think I would be tricked in that thing. I didn't think that thing would trick me. Ow. Look at that, I got a snowball gun, I guess from that exploding chest. Snowball splitter seems like a lot better. But this one is a little faster, I guess. See if we can go deeper. Lava! Oh, there's so many. Oh, oh. Skedaddle. Alright, I just need to go home. Ooh. We got 29 cobalt. That's pretty good. And you just make it with iron? Or is it silver? I actually can't like tell the difference between iron and silver. It looks like silver, I guess. Yeah, it is silver, okay. So we were able to make 9. So it takes 3 cobalt. We can make a lot of stuff with this. We can make the obsidian rod. Fish fear me. Oh wait, we need 1 more. Dang it. Cobalt crossbow, cobalt bow, cobalt spear, sword, axe, pickaxe, which is slightly faster than the forest pickaxe, but not by much. But yeah, that is like the next level of, like the next tier, right, of stuff. Looks like everything in the garden is mostly grown. Ta-da! I forgot, what do we do with these watermelons? I think we just throw them. Can't craft them with anything. They're quite literally just very weak weapons. Alright, whatever. Wheat, you can turn into bread. Actually got some bread. It gives you the small meal, small boost to stats, which is just a little bit more than the blueberry, which is a light snack. So good for a fight or good for exploring or whatever. This is arrowroot. So this is a way to replenish arrows, I think. Yeah, look at that. So they're about as strong as a reinforced arrow, which has to be crafted with ore. So if you use arrowroot, then you can just get as strong as a reinforced arrow, or free, I guess. Let's plant these. That's pretty nice, actually, because especially when you fight a boss, you go through arrows quite quickly. That's kind of odd. Look at that. That's different than this. It's like it mutated. Our blueberries, we don't really have a huge use for this, except for the light snack thing. Same goes for the tomatoes. Tomato is also a light snack, I guess. We craft anything with it. All kinds of potions can be made with the blueberry, but the tomato, no. So it's not very useful. At least not yet. Seems like the watermelon, the tomato is not very useful. Wheat can be used to make pretty good food, but bread's not like super helpful. Blueberries for potions, arrowroot is for arrows, it makes good arrows. So that's good to have. Cotton you can build with, right? We already know what cotton does. Pumpkins. I think these are literally just decoration. Looks like they get bigger over time, but I'm not sure. Look at that. That turned into a different crop when I planted it. What was that? Weeds. Oh. Okay. That's different. Yeah, pumpkins are placeable, and you can place a large, a medium, or a small. But that's it. They are just decoration. Cannot craft anything with them. Glow beans. Now this one I'm not familiar with. You place them? Oh, they're like farmable sticky torches. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of helpful. I already have so many sticky torches, though, from exploring. Oh, we got more weeds. Well, there we go. Glow beans, I mean, they're kind of useful, but I already have enough sticky torches, as I said. Cotton, always useful. Tomatoes, not really useful. Pumpkin, only for decoration. Very niche use. I think you can carve pumpkins. Can you carve pumpkins? Wait, hold on. I think you can make a knife and carve a pumpkin with it. Have to buy it. Yeah, look at that. You can. Hold up. The heck? That was weird. I tried to open it with a pumpkin and that made it kind of laggy. Alright, let's place a large pumpkin. That didn't seem to work. Use to carve pumpkins. It's not doing anything. Let's do a medium. Not carving. Small. Not carving anything. Oh, wait. Okay, so it's like a paintbrush. Ghost. Haha. Oh, look at that. You can just change the orientation of it. Evil. Ooh. I like how it's slightly different because it's larger. Angry. Huh. That's cool. I like that. Let me zoom avoid this. Here's your different size pumpkins. First, let's do the ghost face. That's what it looks like on all 3. Do happy. Happy small, happy medium, happy large. That one's super happy. Do angry. Angry small, angry medium, angry large. The larger it gets, the more angry it looks. Let's do evil. Oh, sinister. Okay, this one looks like more mellowed out. That one looks the most evil. And then that's how they look originally. Okay, I'm noticing something. When I click this, the lighting changes. You guys see that? That's kind of odd. It's like I'm messing up the lighting and then I'm updating it by messing with the pumpkin next to it. That is very cool. I don't suppose we can light it up with a torch. Whoa. No way. That was, I didn't think that was going to work. I was just being random. That is awesome. Holy crap, dude. And when I go to none and then I carve it again, you keep the light in it. That is so cool. That's freaking awesome, dude. Okay, here's a question. Can I carve a pumpkin that's already planted? I guess not. That is quite cool. I want to take a quick break and show you some of the progress that's being made behind the scenes in this game. So Unomelon develops this game very quickly, and they've come out with a lot of new terrain options since I started recording this video. So let's check them out. We have the default world, but then we have flat, we have void, but then we have floating islands, abstract, overhangs, and then default again. I want to see how the default world has changed. Let's check this out. I'm also using a character that has cheats. You have to make a separate character for it. So we're going to be able to fly around and kind of check it out. Now that's kind of only available to early access players at the moment. I don't think it's in the demo. All right, well, this is our new default world. Let's take a look. What the heck? There's glowworms underneath that tree. I go to options, I go to cheats, and then I allow no clip, creative menu, and God mode, instant break blocks. There we go. Now I can fly. So take a look at this. The terrain has changed a lot. Look at that. Now we have more of these mesas and these overhangs, which are very, very, very cool. Look how beautiful that is, man. That's just gorgeous. We've also got these beautiful vines. We have these flowering vines and normal vines, which reminds me of Terraria and waterfalls, which you can't really see it, but it is back there. Look at this. We have this arch. How cool, man. How beautiful. Another arch with some more floating islands and that kind of thing. So this 3D terrain, this is even better than what we had before. Look at this. The mountains get pretty large. Look at that. Look at this mesa up here. Or plateau, I guess you would call it that. How cool. I like the lakes better. It's definitely an improvement from what our world is on. And there's also plenty of kind of like mellow flat areas to build. It's not too mountainous. It looks kind of odd in the desert. I think it suits the forest a little bit better, but it's still a work in progress, I think. Look at the clouds waving as I move around. It's kind of a POV. Pretty cool. Let's make another world. Let's do the floating islands. This one's taking a little bit. Oh, here we go. I think I have to individually enable these. Okay, this is floating islands. It's very flat until... Look at that. That is crazy. Look how freaking cool. Imagine the stuff you could build in a world like this. Imagine having a whole town underneath these like floating islands. Just beautiful, gorgeous terrain. It makes me wish that you could have a mix of the default world and these floating islands, but how beautiful. Just how gorgeous is that, man? That's so freaking cool. This is like that Avatar terrain, the one with the blue people. I was going to say, oh, not the animated one, but actually they're both animated, aren't they? Anyway, super, super gorgeous. Melon has really, really outdone himself with this. Like, this terrain is beautiful. Imagine something like this in Minecraft. How cool would that be? Look, there's a lava fall coming down. What happens when lava hits water? Looks like it makes stone. Yeah, I guess stone is renewable then. Good to know. But yeah, just a stellar looking world. This is really, really pretty. Oh man, look at that, huh? Snow floating islands? Awesome. Imagine how a server on this world type would be. I bet you that would be really cool. People build towns underneath and claim islands for their own. Really quite impressed. All right, enough talking it up. Let's check out our next world type that's abstract. This one I've already looked at. It's a little bit more farlandsy, and it takes a while to generate. This is one's a little bit more laggy, but again, look, it's quite flat, and then you come to the edge, and there's more terrain underneath, but it is a little bit different than the floating islands. It's like way more dense. So instead of having like 2 layers, you have a lower level, and then you have a top level of like sparse of floating islands. This one has 3 layers, and it's like way more dense. Remember when I said farlandsy? This is like really farlandsy. But yeah, it's called abstract for a reason, I suppose. Survival in this world type would certainly be probably the trickiest, especially if you wanted to mine or go lower. I actually like this terrain for the top. I like how it's flat, makes it probably easy to build. But underneath, it is kind of neat. Look at this forest, man. Now, this terrain, you know what it reminds me of is Interstellar. I guess if you've watched that film, where love is the answer to everything in the universe. But at one point you go to this ice planet and the terrain is like kind of like this. Pretty cool. Stay frosty. Anyway, I just want to show that off. That's the kind of terrain that is possible in Allumeria. It's changed a lot since we started the video. It looks amazing. It looks great. I'm really quite impressed. You may be wondering, this game changes a lot. If I want to experience that new cool terrain and I've just spent so much time building this mansion, what can I do about that? Well, two things. The developer of Allumeria has said that they either want to make worlds potentially infinite, but they don't know how to handle it, or they want to add like pocket dimensions that you can go to with the new content. So that is an option. Now the other option is that puzzle blocks exist, or like structure blocks. So I think just like in Minecraft, you can use a structure block or a puzzle block to save a region of a build. I don't know how big they can get. And then you could copy that to another world. So in creative mode. So let's say I want to get a new world. There's a new update with new dungeons and stuff. But I want to keep my base. I can just copy that base with the puzzle blocks, put it over in the new world, and then boom. That'll be kind of fun. You know, I think that's kind of cool. And also I believe the dungeons can be generated with the command if the sand dungeon gets added to the game. But you have a world without one, maybe you could, I don't know, use a command to generate it. There's a lot of things that you can do. So that means you can keep playing, you can go into worlds, you don't have to lose your progress. And of course, your character does transfer over. You can take this character and put it into different worlds. So you can keep your inventory and all your levels and all your hearts, all your trinkets, armor, everything, even your money. Not bad. I want to try something that I saw here. This is the camera menu. There's bobbing intensity. I have it turned way down. View bobbing is screen shake. There's also pixel scale and then dither. So let's turn on dither. So dither adds this kind of like, it's really different looking, but it's like this pixelated kind of view. Kind of like lucid blocks, if you've seen any gameplay of that. Let's turn it up though. Goes up to 4. Now it's really high. Look at that, huh? That's pretty cool. I could not probably play like this. I want to see what the mansion looks like with that. Looking snazzy. All right, let's turn that off. Oh, what the heck? It's still pixelated. All right, let's turn the pixel scale all the way down. There we go. All right, well, obviously there's so much more to this game I haven't even explored yet. All the paintings that we've been getting, they're unique paintings that you can get, like this. That's deer, pipes, and then bird. So you find paintings in like dungeons and chests and loot, that kind of thing. It's pretty cool. That's how you get different ones. Kind of like Terraria, again. But what's really cool about the paintings is that you can paint them, of course. So let's paint this one yellow. Oh, that didn't work. Let's paint this one red. Wow. Oh, okay, you have to do the original block. Wow. Green deer. Look at this. Let's do pink pipes. Let's do red bird. So yeah, you could basically customize them. I have to do like a baby bluebird. How pretty. It's pretty freaking awesome. And again, there's the wallpaper we didn't even get into because we didn't do any interior decoration. But I mean, if you think that our options for building on the outside are cool, imagine the options for building on the inside. Also, I don't remember if I explained this, but I used log sections there. They're thicker than a fence. They're thinner than a block. So they're kind of the perfect size for this sort of decoration. I probably did explain that though. There's also the logic system, which I never had time to get into. Oh look, bug bait. There's more weapons, there's more biomes. I really didn't explore the winter or the desert biome. I didn't explore the winter dungeon. There's a winter boss. There's a lot more to do. There's a lot more coming to the game. But other than that, I've run out of time, so that's going to be the end of the video. Oh yeah, I also think there's going to be corner stairs. Okay, it's going to be the end of the video. I'm just going to mention a few more things first. If you're interested in Allumeria, if you're interested in indie game development, I did interview Uno Melon. You saw a section of it earlier. It's about 50 minutes long. It is on my channel. Go check it out. It was fun. And of course, if you're interested in the game, go get the demo on Steam, wishlist it. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. The building is crazy. This game has a ton of potential. The other things are, I have a membership program. That's my alternative to sponsorships. And as a thank you to the members, you guys get the unedited versions of these videos. They're the same videos, but they're a lot longer. Last thing I'm going to ask is click the relevant buttons, whatever. But yeah, that is it. So hey, let me know if you'd like to see more Allumeria. There's a lot more to do. Tell me in the comment section what you thought. Besides that, I had a lot of fun. I've been Monster, and have a good night.